she know I feel the same? Does anybody know her name? How does she feel? Does anybody know her name? Does she know I feel the same? Does anybody know her name? How does she feel? Does anybody know her name? Anybody know? Does she know I feel the same? Does anybody know her name? Anybody know? How does she feel? Does anybody know her name? Does she know I feel the same? Does anybody know her name? How does she feel?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Thermaltake Sprint Series Season 26, final round, round 8 here at Silverstone. I'm joined tonight by my friend Breno Ellis. We'll be doing the comms duties for tonight. Maybe a little bit of a change from people you've heard in the past over this season. But we are both here tonight to give you some run through on the action. It's a close championship between some of the groups, those being Silver and Pro-Am. However, Mr. Stan Buskovas up the front, who the camera is focused on right now, has pretty much walked away with this one. He's carrying a lot of success ballast as well for his troubles. But yeah, Breno, how are you doing on this fine night?
Good evening, Aiden. Good evening, stream. Yes, I'm doing quite all right. How about yourselves?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well as well. Hopefully, Silverstone, pretty good track. I mean, one of the sort of, let's call it staple tracks of GT racing. It's been around for a very long time. Is quite popular for all sorts of racing activities, whether that be F1, GT, everything in between. And just quickly, we have the championship standings here. So as you can see, Stan Buskovas out in front by 114 points. With 23 kilos of success ballast, followed by Griffin, Rondinella, and Ibrahim Bank, who's had a pretty strong season in silver as well. Kyle Billett not too far behind. Isaac Price-Davies as well, leading out that Pro-Am championship, followed by Dean Nicholson as well. So yeah, pretty interesting championship over the season so far. 7 of the 8 rounds now completed. Yeah, we got Everingham leading the AM Championship as well right now.
Yeah, definitely all to play for in some of the classes. Going through the maths, unfortunately, just on the other side of that leaderboard that we just saw there is the drop round. And with the drop round, Stan Buskovas has actually taken the championship before this round. There is unfortunately no way for Griffin or Rondinella, for that matter, to take the crown away from him. So this one here is just going to be a victory race for Stan, as we see him on screen there. But it is all to play for second and third. Justin Griffin and Rondinella only separated by the 1 point. So it could come down, well, it will come down to whoever finishes ahead in the race tonight. Griffin carrying a touch more success ballast than Rondinella, and Jaden's been showing some really good pace this season, so see how that one plays out. And the other really tight fight as well is for the AM Championships. Only 7 points separate Everingham and Bernard, and it looks like only Everingham has shown up, so that might be a win by default for the Aston driver.
Yeah, exactly. I will say honourable mention for some of the other people we've seen up the grid, like Ryan King so far. And Taufik has returned from his hiatus, I think, although he's come back with an injury. So keep an eye on him. He's been around for a while, and he definitely knows his way around these tracks in that Ferrari. So he could genuinely be in for that contention for the win. I do believe it was quite close between him and Rondinella last week. As the times come in now for those first laps, so we got Griffin immediately on that pole position with a 58.495. Considering the ambient temperature of 23 degrees, that is a fairly solid time, although to be honest, I would expect to maybe get into the 57s for some of these drivers, particularly yeah, as there we go, Taufik first lap 58 dead, so he'll be one to look out for this one. Yeah, look. Yeah, the Lambo squad behind him, those quite consistently been in that sort of top 3. So Griffin and Buskovas do like to sit up that top 3. They have been quite consistently for the season. Bishop not too far back as well. As someone in the McLaren myself, I do know it is a pretty good car here.
Yes. Oh, yes, McLaren certainly quite nice to drive here. I did do a small enduro once a little while ago in the McLaren. Quite enjoyed it here. So see how, Andy Bishop there, currently P4, 58.7 or thereabouts for his banker. So fairly solid lap time. But as you said, there's definitely some time on the table.
Well,
as we see Sam Buskovich going for a bit of a spin. Almost takes out his teammate.
Yeah, I was going to say, looks like Griffin had to take some avoiding action there. Very easy to do that into, is it Brooklands? I think it is. Or...
It is Brooklands, yes.
Yeah. Brooklands trail braking corner. Very easy to lose that rear end, especially in the rear engine cars. I know the McLaren does that if you push a little bit too hard as well. So, pretty easy mistake to make there. And unfortunately, once you do that in these sort of qualifying sessions, your rear tires get set on fire from the slide, and the temperatures don't really come back down unless you've got some time to just take your foot off the pedal for half a lap and get them to cool down. So Griffin and Buskovich now in P5 and 6. Ryan King putting in a pretty good lap, and Taufik's put in that 57 that we were talking about before. And Bishop as well in P3 with a low 58, which is a good effort from the silver driver.
Yeah, 100%. I think the other thing with Stan as well, the weight that you'd be carrying, which, as we're saying, is plus 23, but that's on top of the LFM BOP that is already applied to the Lambo. The Lambo is quite strong here, getting about 14 kilos of ballast just to bring it in contention with the other cars. So he's running an additional 37 kilos for this race. And from somebody who's had to drive the BMW with, 30-ish kilos, it is difficult to brake when you have that much ballast. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's just caught him out. You'd be surprised how much your braking distances do improve when, in the scheme of things, 40 kilos really doesn't seem like much. But when you're trying to stop it at the absolute limit of grip, it becomes quite the hindrance. As we jump back on board here with Griffin, currently 2/10 up, losing a little bit through Brooklands, gains it all back on exit. It's going to be about 3/10 up, coming up through the final corner. Again, losing on the exit as well. It's probably going to bleed to the line.
Yeah, that corner is where the deltas go to die, unfortunately. It's so easy to just bleed that off. And yeah, he's jumped into P4. Loopty just took that at P5 now. So you can see really as everyone crosses the line, they are all improving by a couple tenths at a time and just knocking each other down. I mean, I've fallen victim to this before myself. You think you've done a good time and then you just watch your name slowly fall down the sheet, and then you end up starting 7th or 8th or something and having to spend the whole race fighting to get back to position. As we're on board with Bank here, who's got a Ferrari moving out the way as we come into the fast section of Maggots and Beck. It's very difficult, especially in a tail-happy car like the Lexus, to keep it nice and stable, but he's done a good job there. He hasn't quite got the delta in the first sector here. Maybe he can find a little bit of time over the lap to bring himself up. But again, P8 is still a pretty good effort from him. And Darryl Lim as well, I just noticed, has snuck into P6 as the first silver now in the Oh no, sorry, Bishop is still up in P3, hiding away there. So we are seeing some different names up the top from what we've seen in the past, which does kind of tell you that the success ballast is working. And some of the people that are normally inheriting these top steps are just having to deal a little bit more with that extra weight, as Griffin now comes through Aintree, the loop, now into Aintree. 3/10 up. If he can hold this, he will have pole, but he's just going to slightly lose it. We'll see if he can maintain this this delta through Brooklands and Luffield. Like I said before, it is pretty easy to lose it. So trail breaks it into second gear, flows it through now. Quick flick it back to the right, stay on that inside line, and then be nice and patient on that power. But I did see a little hint of oversteer there, and that is going to hurt him. He's only going to improve 2/10, which will bring him up to P3, I believe, but not much more than that. And there are people behind him still on their lap. So we'll see Rondinella just slots in right behind him as he crosses the line in the background. Then we have 4 silvers all in line. Oh, no, never mind. They've been split by Stan Buskovich carrying that mountain of weight on his car. But these will be the last laps for everyone now, so starting to get to the pointy end of this session.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's leaderboard just keeps changing every time these drivers come around. Everybody's slightly improving just a little bit, and we're just jumping around. This last lap is going to be absolutely crucial, as it seems the track is improving each lap just a little bit. I did notice that the pole time is about what they're doing in the practice sessions, so maybe the rubber being laid down is just helping improve that track grip, and the times are just improving, and obviously getting more comfortable with the car and the track as you go through a qualifying session. I find that I prefer to do almost one complete run in qualifying instead of pitting halfway for new boots, just because of the rhythm that you develop over doing multiple laps in a row instead of cutting it short halfway. I know some others don't feel the same way. They like going half and half, and they're able to just put down a lap, like yourself, Aiden. You seem to just be able to just absolutely on it straight away. So definitely different strokes for different folks. As we still here on board here with Benny Vintina. Currently up 2 and a bit tenths. We'll see if he's got a little bit through these last couple corners here. Almost just under 8 tenths off of pole position at the moment. It seems a little deep, into Brooklands. As he comes through Luffield, is their time on exit? It's a little wide. He's going to probably bleed the time to the line.
I will say though,
he will get one more lap.
Yeah, he has timed this in terms of timing pretty much perfectly if he can keep this next lap valid and on track, because the people crossing the line or about to cross the line behind him, so that's Griffin and Loopty, I believe, will not have another lap to go. We're looking at Price Davies here, another person that has been fairly far up the grid this season. In that, that's a bit of a snap there. I caught that too. That corner is so difficult committing to it through Abbey. The cars just, a lot of the ones running quite unstable setups do just want to let go of that rear end coming through. So so I don't think we've had many improvements up the list as John Rat shows us his displeasure. Price Davies as well, down a 10th as well. So Taufik as well is invalid. So we'll see if Benny V, he's the last man.
V for pole.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to have to pull out something magical if he wants pole from where he is right now. But I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm all for
Miracles do happen, mate.
True. He comes through Abbey. Yeah, and now into Farm Curve, bringing it out nice and wide, braking at the start of that curb on the left-hand side. Bringing it in nicely, got a good flow there. If he can just line up the exit here and not outbrake himself into Brooklands, he will pick up probably, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 tenths, which should bring him up a good 3 or 4 positions. I mean, I think he'd be looking at trying to start within the top 10, so see if he can do that here, braking nice and hard on that entry and then trailing off. Although, there we go. There's the time. 3 tenths he's gained. Now all he has to do is not get distracted on that delta and get a nice exit out. Bit of a slice. He had 3.5 tenths there. All he had to do was keep it on the track, but oh well. So we got Taufik and King on the front row. I didn't see King sneak up there. That was a good lap by him, as someone that I don't think has been on the front row before from memory. So there's a first time for everything for him. And then it'll be Griffin, again, more of a regular person up the front, followed by Rondinella in that pink banana mobile you can just see poking over the back of that Porsche. And then Bishop as well, good qualifying by him. Stan in P6, fairly good effort for all that weight, followed by Lim, Billet, Bank, and John Rad for your top 10. That was a pretty good quali. If you would ask me 10 minutes ago, what do you reckon the top 5 would be? That is definitely not the order I would have given you. Easy win for Taufik tonight, says Benjamin Hignett in the chat. I would agree with you. I mean, I am touching wood right now. My desk is made of wood, but I would say that Taufik should, in theory, win this race, because he is pretty fast and he doesn't have too much success ballast on. So long as he doesn't make any catastrophic mistakes like speeding into the pits or breaking his hand again, he should be okay to take the win. Yeah,
we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves though. Anything can happen. It is Silverstone at the end of the day, and Maggots and Beckett's are pretty hectic. And even turn 1 for that matter on the first lap. The Porsche is going to get a mega start as well in comparison to the Ferrari. So if King has the balls for it, we might actually see a move around the outside into turn 1, but we'll have to wait and see as we fly down the grid here. Looking at these lovely liveries, potentially for the last time as we move into the next season, people might jump into some new skins.
Yeah, definitely. And also this race, obviously it's important to let you guys know what the format is. You might have noticed there is the mandatory pit stop next to everyone's names. So it will be a 60-minute race, obviously, with a mandatory stop for tyres. So anyone in a car like a McLaren or a Ferrari running a lot of weight, or a Nissan or a Lexus, is going to be very thankful that there is a mandatory stop, because this track absolutely destroys your left-hand side tyres in the cars that are not too good on tyre wear. So there will be a stop. Now, whether everyone decides to take it at that halfway point, or if they want to go a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, each has their benefits and disadvantages. That's up to the drivers. So we saw last week at Silverstone, Luke D pitted quite early and was able to use that clean air to come back and take the win in the end. And I believe Taufik did not take tyres, so that kind of is what decided the race. But I will see what these guys decide to do for this one.
Yeah, correct. Like Suzuka, Silverstone is quite harsh on the tyres, so I think the undercut might be quite strong. If you can get a lap or two undercut on some of the cars around you, I'm sure you'll jump them a second or so on those fresh boots. But then the trade-off is the earlier you go, the longer you're on that second set of tyres, so the more you're going to struggle towards the end. So we might see some overtakes towards the end of the race where those tyres do just fall off a little bit for the drivers that do opt to pit earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Also, it's not too hot, but 22 degrees, especially if you're in a BMW or a car that really heats up those tires, and if you haven't opened up the brake ducts. I know a certain Dean Nicholson earlier was asking me whether 96 degrees on his front left was okay to race with, and I said probably not. You want to open those ducts a little bit just to keep those temperatures a little bit further down. So yeah, those bigger cars, especially on that left-hand side, just heat up that tire and do make it quite painful. It does drop off quite fast. So they will have to keep that in mind as well. Obviously, pit entry here has seen a lot of people speed into it. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the hardest pit entries in the game. If you push it just a little bit too much, because it's a break and turn sort of entry, it is so easy to overcook it and ruin your entire race with a stop-go penalty. So that's another thing. I hope all the drivers have practiced their pit entries.
Yep, could definitely vouch for that. I've had my fair share of I've had one stop-go 30 at the Silverstone pit entry, and it cost me a championship, so definitely one to look out for. And like you say, because you're braking around a blind corner as well, and the board just creeps up on you. As the drivers are looking to go double file potentially at some stage down the straight. Yep, here we go. Now they're starting to form up as we get ready to go racing.
Although, oh yeah, there we go. They're getting it now. Yeah, they'll form up side by side. Obviously, Taufik, very experienced in the lead, will have that inside line. Although the Porsche is pretty good off the line if you can launch it correct. So will be interesting to see whether Taufik can hold it as well. Obviously, the Porsche does turn pretty well. So if he has the balls to hold it around the outside, I reckon he could definitely mount a challenge into that first corner. But I'll let you take away the start, Breno.
Yes, as we're coming around the final, not straight, I wouldn't really consider it a corner per se, but they're filing up here. Taufik, we might want to go a little bit to the left, my friend. Yep, there we go, over the grid boxes. Ryan King has really dropped back quite a ways here. I don't think he's really going to get any benefit to the jump, even if he does get a better reaction off the line, as the lights are about to go out, and there we are, green, green, green. We are away. Ryan King does actually manage to close up. It's going to be Taufik that leads away. It's a poor exit, though. Gets a little bit of a slide, potentially. Ryan King, they're going to go side by side through Maggots and Beckett's, and 2 by 2 behind as well between Rondinella and Griffin, but Rondinella does prevail. Ryan King still holding it side by side through Maggers and Beckers. We've got a little bit of a contact on the apex. Ryan King is going to have a good run around the outside here. We'll have to let the stewards have a look at that one there. I think it might just be a racing incident. That is so unbelievably close on the exit there. Between the top two, and here comes the Lexus.
Oh, he can't bump drive though. He's stuck. He's stuck in. He's been boxed in. He can't use that Lexus speed. And now this whole big gaggle are all going to arrive at the same time.
Oh, Buskovus is going up this.
Yeah. He's tried to go for a move there, but lost the rear. Now he's going to get swamped on the exit of Stowe. This start is definitely delivering as Ryan King now defending from that Lexus. Oh, that Lexus just having to bide his time there. I think Loopty, the longer this race goes and the more kind of it calms down, he's going to have much better opportunity to really use that pace down the straight and get past people. But Andy Bishop as well, holding his position fairly well in P5, not dropping off too much. I know the starts here can be very chaotic and it's easy to just kind of lose where you are. Griffin, that is so close. He just pulls it up, but then has to slow down on that inside line. And now Ibrahim Bank as well. Oh my gosh, there's so much action going on. Everyone giving each other sends.
I'm not sure if it was yellows at the back there, but I did see some white and yellow dots on the track map, so I'm not sure if there's an incident there or just the concertina was that dramatic that the game thought there was a slow car. So Ibrahim's going to try going around the outside of Luffield. Whoa. And he's going to get it done. I don't think Bishop's going to be able to hold that around the outside, and Darryl Lim said hello, and he's gone up the inside there. Bishop's a little bit wide, but he is actually going to hang on to the position. Darryl's going to have to bide his time just a little bit longer, but he is going to have the run. Is he going to go for a move into turn one here? It's going to be very brave, especially in the same car. He's got a little bit of overlap going in. He thinks better of it and just backs out.
Yeah, so the biggest losers from this have been Buskovus. Definitely, he has dropped quite a few positions and kind of been swamped on that start. And also, Ben Vintner has made up, I think, 4 positions. I think he started in P13, so he's doing his usual thing. He does that every week. I think he qualifies a little bit further down the grid and then makes his way back up. So
makes his case for driver of the day.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, King also good effort on that start. Didn't let Taufik get away with it straight away as well. I think Rondinella, honestly, again, will be the biggest threat this race. As Andy Bishop, really good run through Stowe. That McLaren is so planted through there. It's amazing fun through that corner. He's going to look for a move going into Vale and Club, but I don't think it's going to come up. Those McLaren brakes, not quite good enough to go for a send there. So he will have to hold back for now. Ibrahim taking away that lead silver spot like he has many times this season so far. I would say probably the strongest silver driver we've seen throughout this season. Whoa,
absolutely, is very, very wide there. Is this going to invite a move from Darryl? He is going to be on the outside here, but if he can go for a bit of a switchback on the exit of Aintree it is, and a run down into Brooklands, we'll see. Looks like he's pretty far back, unfortunately, from this angle. I don't think there's going to be too much here, unless Andy Bishop does decide to do the same thing that he just did as we jump on board in the cockpit with Darryl Lim. And yeah, it's just not going to be enough of a run. He's going to have to tuck behind once again for another lap.
Yeah, I think though Darryl, if he buys his time here and stays, or like, he's very, very slippery on that exit. I think Andy's just having a little bit of trouble getting into the rhythm here. And Darryl Lim might try going around the outside, or he's going to think better. He switches to the inside, but again, thinks a little bit better of it. Going down the inside at Cops just generally does not end too well, so that's a smart decision for him. Although Stan Buskovus now closing up behind, although that Lambo is pretty sad on the straights compared to the McLaren. So I doubt Buskovus will be able to get past, obviously excluding a mistake. So this group now has about 4 or 5 cars in it, all the way back to Vintner and Rad. So that'll be an interesting little battle group to keep an eye on, as these 3 up the front are just slowly stretching their legs and pulling away from the cars behind. We did kind of expect that these 3 would start to pull away a little bit, especially once you get some clean air here. It's very easy to start pulling away, as Lim now kind of under threat from Buskovus. This whole train, I feel like if Bishop makes another decent sized mistake, he will have 4 or 5 cars behind him all itching to get past. So he needs to stay focused here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting for especially these two at the end here. So Ventina and I believe that's Ventina getting a bit of a snap there and just decides to take the exit and take the run off there.
Rejoin. That is a brave rejoin, just coming straight back across that grass, because everyone who's played ACC knows what the grass physics are like. It's very easy to just get launched through the air as soon as you touch a single
Lipty can confirm.
Yeah, especially here. Stan Buskovas now behind Daryl Lim. He's going to pull out to the inside, maybe try fake Daryl out, but Daryl's taking that braking zone very nicely, not allowing Stan to go for that move, with Vintner obviously close behind. I feel like as well Daryl, one of those drivers that sometimes is a little bit mistake prone, so trains can tend to form up behind him sometimes from what I've seen. So we'll see if he does the same thing, or if whether he can hang on to Bishop, who's just starting to pull out that gap now.
Yeah, unfortunately, his little looks up the inside, and Bishop just sort of having a couple wobbles on those first few laps has unfortunately left Daryl a little bit, vulnerable to this train behind. And now that Bishop's kind of found a bit of more of a rhythm, starting to pull away a little bit, and that's going to leave Daryl very vulnerable without the slipstream. And like I was trying to say before, Ventina and Rad, cars that are quite good in the straight line, just behind these two, I think they're going to be the dark horses in this little battle, especially if Buskovas and Daryl do start to fight a little bit harder. When 2 fight, 3 wins, they say. He's looking out to the inside. What's happened there? Was there contact? Has Daryl gone wide under his own steam, or has he been bumped from behind? We'll have to see a replay of that one. But Buskovas is through, and so is Rad, and so is Ventina. And Ben Oliver, I think, is also fighting this one here. He's going to be on the outside for Abbey, which is not really where you want to be, if anywhere. And I think Daryl might be able to hang on to this one here, as it looks like, Ben Oliver is sitting behind. He's going to look up the inside into Village, and Dean Nicholson for company as well, just behind.
Yeah, I think Buskovas had a few jinks under braking, and whether he had contact with Daryl got put off by it, sent him a bit wide. As soon as you said when these guys started fighting, I knew exactly what was coming, because Daryl got a terrible run off Stowe, and Buskovas had a really good run. As now Ben Oliver down the inside of Daryl Lim, going into the second last corner, but Daryl just holding steady with that McLaren around the outside. You can kind of hold it there if you take the right line, although he is slightly falling down, which is kind of what I alluded to before. We'll see if he can make back some of those lost positions, but I have a feeling those guys out front, once they get a bit of a clean air, they might start pulling away.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is there was contact. We have just got confirmation there was contact between Buskovas and Daryl Lims. There might be a little bit of a invoice coming Buskovas' way. We'll see what the stewards decide on that, because there was, a couple of jinks, more so from Stan's side now that I think about it, actually. So, we'll see what the stewards have to say about that, if it was called, of course. But yeah, still on board here with Ben Oliver. But as I was going to say, we jumped to a replay here. So we're on board with Stan Buskovas. He's coming into the braking zone. He jinks to the inside. Daryl does seem to close down on the apex there in the braking zone. So yeah, that'll be quite an interesting one for the stewards to look at, and we'll see what the verdict is on that one.
It wouldn't be a case of a steward getting another penalty, would it? Could be. Yeah, it's been known to happen with that 819 car, but those of you that are in the stewards will know what I'm talking about. But we'll leave that to them, as this train up further keeps battling. This is Buskovas again, who has dropped off the back of Bishop as well, with that 3-second gap. Bishop hanging on to Bank though pretty well. From what I've seen earlier this season, Bank has kind of just flown away from all his silver compatriots. So that's a pretty good effort by Bishop to hang on for now. And Rondinella as well, I can see that gap to King is only 2/10, so really close, as people kicking up dust out of that final corner. Very easy to run wide, and in fact, Rondinella is having a look down the outside of Ryan King, into Cops. That is not going to work, but he will get a good drive off the exit. Here we go, side by side through Maggots and Beckett's. Let's see what these guys can do for us. So Rondinella down the inside. That's Ryan King having a big slide. Rondinella having to go off track there. Oh, and he's rejoined ahead, which is interesting. We'll see if the stewards have anything to say about that. I think surely he has to give that one back, right?
I was going to say he wouldn't have been ahead at the point of the contact, so I feel like he'll be asked to give that one back, especially with that much of a time advantage gained over Ryan King, almost a second gap on the lazy delta that we've got on the timing tower there. So yeah, we'll see how that one plays out, and that's invited Griffin right under that rear wing once again of King. So
he might have been knocked out of his rhythm by that too, because I've just noticed the last few corners he's been quite out of shape in that Porsche for quite a few of them, just getting quite slippery. I do know the Porsche is, I have driven it here for an endurance event, and it wasn't the hardest car to drive, but if you lose concentration, it will bite you if you're not careful, and that's just an extra thing to have to sort of think about. Obviously, on top of racing other people and focusing on your own stuff. So we'll see how King does, and yeah, we'll see if Loopty gives back that position, because yeah, that was a obviously, yeah, that's must have been pretty big.
I was going to say, I noticed that Carl Billett has dropped all the way to the back of the field, talking about Silver Compatriots earlier, and has actually decided to serve his mandatory pit stop, which might actually put him out into traffic, which is not ideal. He's leaving the pit lane now, with Torfik probably the better part of 10 seconds behind, so we'll see how that goes for him. The last thing you really want to be, especially on a recovery drive, is to get caught in a blue flag train. It's just no fun. Constantly having to let the lap cars through while you're also trying to gain back any time that you can on the cars that you may be racing. So that penalty there for Wesley Yao might have something to do with that, if I am a betting man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, King seems to have gathered himself back up now. Griffin just sitting behind, although again, I have a feeling now that Loopty will have better actual on-track pace than King. So, I mean, if he wanted, I guess he could ignore the steward's request for him to give that back the position, because if it is only 5-second penalty or whatever for leaving the track and gaining an advantage, he will probably bring that out fairly quickly, to be honest. So, we'll get a replay now. This is the Wesley Yao Kyle Billett thing. Where is Kyle Billett? I don't even see him in this shot.
It might be something.
Oh no. Oh. I mean, I would say that is rare, but unfortunately at that corner, I have seen that happen quite a few times. You cannot see the brake marker when there's cars around you, because it is a curb most of the time, and if there are people to your right hand side, you cannot see it, so it is very easy to miss the braking marker there. And yeah, unfortunately, that is what caused Kyle Billett to, I assume, go back to the pits, because he would have taken a fair hit of damage from that.
I think he just couldn't get going again. I don't think the damage was too much. I think he was just backwards and had to wait for the entire field to come through. And then by that stage, he was 10 seconds or so behind the car ahead, which would have been beaten, I think, at that point. So I think he's just decided to clear his pit stop and go like hell to the end and see if he can claw anything back.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he can stay out of those blue flags. If he can bring back some time, as we got a pretty close battle here between Griffin, Bank, and Bishop. So we'll see what this Lexus can do down the straight compared to a Lambo. The Lexus is an absolute missile down the straight, so you'll start to see it pull up behind. Although the straights here aren't too long, but I mean, look at that. Like just in that last sort of 5 seconds of straight, it just starts walking straight up to the back of that Lambo. But Lambo is kind of saved by the fact that the Lexus did not get too good of a run out of Maggots and Beckett's there. But yeah, we'll see if Ibrahim can hold on behind Griffin. The dirty air also is pretty difficult coming through this section up here. So the Lexus is quite unstable can be quite unstable in dirty air too. It is a little bit tricky to drive. But Ibrahim has done really well this season. Been pretty impressed by his driving. I think you have been too, Breno, so it's good to see. Coming up from a promotion, I believe, fairly recently too. So yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, Ibrahim's definitely one to keep your eye on. He's definitely had some insane pace this season, consistently scoring top fives, or at least in qualifying, having the top five. Unfortunately, some races haven't really gone his way through to his mistakes of his own, and sometimes due to others. But other than that, an incredibly solid season for himself, and to sit P4 in the overall standings is a very, very solid effort. And like I said, definitely one to keep your eye on, because the kid is quite young, so he's got a big future ahead of him if he continues with this sim racing thing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just looking at the gaps, seems that a lot of the trains have now kind of separated themselves naturally from that starting position. We do have some other small battles going on, kind of towards the end of that top 10 with around that same sort of Radlim Oliver area, but Andy Bishop not letting Bank out of his grips. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Bishop has been kind of staying with these sort of higher groups throughout this season, so that's also pretty good to see. The McLaren putting in work as the downforce car that just sticks to the road, especially at tracks like this where there's lots of fast flowing corners. So we come through now, Club. Pretty difficult corner to get the power down. Probably the one place where you do have a lot of wheel spin on this track, and it's quite easy to lose a lot of time. But all these guys doing pretty well to get the power down nicely to the road. We are just over 15 minutes in now, so potentially little inklings of tyre wear starting to come in, especially if you've driven very aggressively through that first sort of stint. And as well, the ACC Silverstone 12-hour GT3 and GT4's cars on Saturday, 5th of September. Entries are open. Visit Octane Online Racing to enter. We have had a few Silverstone Enduros over the past. The last one went pretty well for us. We were actually both in a team, Breno and I, and we came third or second, I don't remember. One of the podium positions, we came third. But yeah, it was a pretty fun time. So if you're willing to drive Silverstone for 12 hours, I mean, I like this track quite a lot, so I'm happy to drive a couple hours here. Sign yourself up for that.
Yeah, definitely get around it. The weather script writers for the last Silverstone 12-hour were setting fire to the page. It was absolutely insane. So I'm hoping we get a bit of a repeat. I know ACC could be a little bit unpredictable, shall we say, with this weather, or too predictable, which is also not too good. Ben Oliver, 10-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 1. See if our lovely broadcaster Glenn can get us a replay of what has gone down there. But that is going to be an invoice for the Porsche in P12 currently. It's going to drop him down a couple positions as it stands, and we'll see how much of that penalty he can...
Whoa,
no, is
Griffin.
That's Stan Bus. Is that Griffin?
Yeah, Griffin.
It is Griffin, way off the road.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to concede the position to Bank. Does manage to hold on from Bishop, but with that little bit of a just drop in rhythm there, will Bishop be able to grab the position as well?
Looks like he just dropped it at Stowe, which, to be fair, is quite a difficult braking zone. Like, you have to trail it in quite deep, and there is a bump on the way in, so it is fairly easy. Yeah, I'm not going to get you started on the bump, don't worry.
Oh, the Honda and the bump, man.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get a replay here of the Ben Oliver thing. So this is with Price Davies, I believe. Goes around the outside, and then guessing, does he move on to brakes or?
Oh, it's a small bump, yeah.
And then T-bones in the background.
Yeah,
That's
okay. I think this is what I saw on the track map in the background. There's an absolute gaggle of cars here, all tussling for position after having to avoid a bit of a backwards Lexus there.
Yeah, Griffin coming into the pits just then. So he's had enough of the driving at the moment. Either he's burned his tires or he just doesn't like being in a train. He's going to come in for an early pit stop, which again has worked. The question will be whether he can hold on to his new tires for 40 minutes or not, which I think will be a fairly hard ask in the Lambo from what I know. It's not too good on the tires, especially when you're carrying extra weight. So we'll see where he comes out. I mean, he pitted, what, a couple seconds behind...
About a second behind Ibrahim, so we'll see how
Yeah.
that plays out. But it has seemed to work for him. He has, gone for that undercut, and quite a significant undercut in a fair few of the races this season, and has generally worked out for him. Even at Nürburgring, where he was spun, he got turned on lap 1. He decided, all right, I'm going to pit a couple laps in, 55 minutes or something on the same set of tires, and managed to claw back P2, which was, higher than he qualified, I think, in that race. So definitely seems to work for him. But yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. Still, 2/3 of the race or thereabouts to go. As we jump back on board here with Daryl Lim, still just behind Rad, so he has kept that gap if nothing else. We'll see if he can mount an attack, but he's also got to watch out for the big yellow Bentley taxi behind of Dean Nicholson.
Yeah. The big old Bentley. Haven't seen it much ever since Patrick Johnson left sprints, but we do have, I believe he's the only Bentley in both splits, so yeah, pretty lonely out there, but it is a pretty fun car to drive. A little bit difficult, I must say, to really get around, but he's doing pretty well. He has improved quite a lot over the season, so it's good to see him in that top 10 right now. If he keeps it on the road and fairly consistent, I reckon he'll make up a few positions here, as the attrition of this race potentially will kick in a little bit more. Vintner. Yeah, Vintner as well in the pit. So common theme here, we've got pro drivers stuck in trains coming into the pits. So I do kind of understand why they're doing that. Obviously, clean air is so important. It's very easy to get stuck behind people that, especially if you've had a bad quali or you haven't had the best opening laps, then yeah, it is a pretty good strat to come in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely case. The other thing is that in the dirty air, you do burn up your front tires significantly more than clean air as well. So even though they have only gone, just a click over 20 minutes on those tires, they're probably just as bad as they're going to be this second set after 35 minutes or so of more clean air running. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out for them. They've really got to put the hammer down, bang in some good laps to make that undercut worthwhile. But if there's two drivers in this grid that can bang out some pretty good lap times, it's probably Griffin and Vintena.
Yeah, true. And also, I've noticed Rad has really fallen off the back of Buscovers here. As Billet has just teleported back to pits and disappeared. So, Daryl Lim looking down the outside here. He might actually hold this if he can. He just lost the rear a little bit. The Bentley's looking for Nicholson. Him now. Yeah,
he gets back on the accelerator, I think, there to stop the Bentley. Gave the overlap. Misses the apex a little bit there. But we'll see if the Bentley's got the grunt down the back straight here to go for a move into Brooklyn. So he does pull out to the inside. So really, you've got to basically clear the car in front. Daryl's gone quite wide there. He's got the old mind punt there.
Yeah.
And is Ben Oliver going to get him this time?
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with pack racing like this. You make one move or attempt one move and get it wrong, as they're both coming into the pits now. They've got to be careful. Don't want to run into each other. They're both going to slow down nicely. Okay. I was a bit worried for a second there. I've seen some incidents coming in through that blind corner with two people right behind each other. But yeah, you do have to be pretty careful when you're in this sort of pack racing. If you go for a move like Daryl did and not quite pull it off, I think you just locked the rear, as you do in the McLaren, quite easily, and then that sent him sideways and allowed Nicholson behind to have a look. So you got to be really calculated when you go for your moves. Of course, if it goes a little bit wrong, you can be quite vulnerable. As Bishop's still right on the back as well of Bank, which is a good effort, and we're looking at Oliver with that 10-second penalty. And Price Davies right behind him in that Lexus.
Yeah, currently fighting for, well, I mean, Price Davies is fighting for second on track in the Pro-Am class. But with that 10-second penalty, that is going to pop him, realistically, by the time they pit, probably in front of Stockton with that gap. 8.3 seconds at the last sector line that we crossed. Speaking of gaps as well, Jaden Rondinella 4.6 seconds ahead of Ryan King here. So even if he did get a 5-second penalty, which doesn't seem like it's come, I mean, then again, we've only seen penalties come through for lap 1 very recently, so there might be still a little bit of debate going on in the steward's box. But regardless of that, even if it is a 5-second penalty, he's basically pulled out that gap already. So as much as I don't condone it, it might have been a better option from Rondinella to take that cut and potentially take a penalty, and, you know, just outdrive it.
Something tells me King
Bishop's
may not
coming
have
in.
called that. So yeah, Bishop coming in now. He's been stuck behind Bank for a little bit. Again, no one so far has messed up their pit entry too hard, so they've all done it pretty well so far, although touch wood, we still have the leaders to come in, and they are the ones that it obviously matters the most for. Stan Buscovis in P5 here for the moment. Not sure if that's a real P5 on track, because I think Griffin will definitely come back to somewhere around this area once he gets through and everyone does their pit stops, which, assuming people are going 50-50, should be pretty soon for a majority of the grid, but we'll have to see. I mean, theoretically, pitting halfway is always the fastest with new tires, so yeah.
Definitely get the best life out of both sets,
yeah,
technically speaking.
Yeah, although it does introduce things like traffic and other stuff, so Price Davies and Taniake in the pits right now. So there you can see the gap between King and Bank as well as Buscovis. So King only really 4 seconds ahead of Bank, which sounds like a lot, but honestly, in clean air, especially if you start struggling on tires in the Porsche or you make a few mistakes, 4 seconds becomes 2, and then 2 becomes 1, and it's actually not that much in the grand scheme of things. So see if Bank can pull a little bit on this Porsche in front of him.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what Stan does here, if he's happy to sit behind Bank or if he's going to dive in and try and get a bit of an undercut for that second half of the race. Now would be the time that I guess they're probably looking at deciding of whether they're going to pit this lap. And I guess, like, you know, similarly, what Ibrahim's thinking of doing is we see a penalty there for Kyle Bill as he does peel into the pit lane. So Buscovis is going to be the one left out, trying to make the overcut work here. So we'll see how long he goes. I guess to try and cover it, you'd pit as early as you can, which is going to be the next lap. But considering he was behind to begin with, does he go a little bit longer and see that if Ibrahim comes out into traffic or, you know, something untoward happens in the pit lane, something or other?
Yeah, that's a good point. So only time can tell. So we'll just have to wait and see. Although it looks like he will probably come out into some clean air. Talking about clean air. Taufik in the lead right now. Too Furious has returned from his injury. Does have Loopty not too far away.
I was going to say that gap has dropped. It was 2.5 seconds, not more than 2 laps ago. 1.9. Last lap for Taufik I saw just as it popped up was a 59.5 compared to his best of a 58.2 or 58.3. So I'm not sure if there's a bit of a mistake that previous lap that would explain that such a rapid drop in pace, or if the tyres have gone, which just doesn't seem right to me in the Ferrari. Like, the Ferrari is very, very kind to its tyres. So I think there might have been just a little bit of a lapse of judgment there from Taufik. And Wesley gets a second drive through here for dangerous driving on lap 4. So really reckoning the invoices in this one, unfortunately. Yeah,
someone has annoyed the stewards a little bit, it seems. I've just noticed as well on the track map, Bank and Bishop have come out of the pits basically on top of each other. Again, they obviously pitted 1 lap apart, and there we go. It looks like Bishop is looking for a move into Stowe. I just had that out of the corner of my eye. He's going to have warmer tyres for this opening, for this lap, so he needs to go for the move now. He looks down the inside, but just can't commit to it. He's better off going in a bit better spot.
Top two already.
Top two already. Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, top two into the pits, like you just said. But I reckon he can go for the move through these set of corners here. Now the McLaren's so good with that downforce; you can carry so much speed through this section. It's an absolute dream.
Oh,
Although, he doesn't want to carry too much.
runs a
He's
little
trying
bit
to
wide.
close up.
He just
Yeah,
had to drop back just a touch to not get the aero wash on that front splitter.
That is the second time that has almost ended disaster for him this race.
Yep. So it looks like a lot of activity in the pit lane. The top two are both pitted. Ryan King and it was P3, currently P4 as Buskovus has jumped through. Also in the pits, Oliver, Stockton, and James, and now Everingham all into the pits. So there's basically everybody left other than Rad and Buskovus, I think, and Simpson.
Yep. So like I said, pitting on the halfway is pretty much the fastest way you can go. So I mean, it makes sense to pit on that 30-minute mark, which everyone seems to have. And why is Loopty out ahead of what? Loopty's in the lead. Taufik's behind him. So Taufik must have had something go very wrong in that pit stop, because that doesn't make sense unless
conservative entry. I think
tires, or
you have to. It's tires mandatory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Taufik a little bit of damage perhaps from turn one. Like Maggots and Beckett's on lap one, that little contact with Ryan King, just forgot to disable it. But even then, that shouldn't have been a 2-second deficit.
Well,
but then again,
2 seconds, I guess, because he's overtaken.
Thereabouts. Yeah, I was almost going to comment that I'm surprised Rondinella followed him in. I thought you'd go one lap extra, or try and. Well, I mean, you can't really go for an undercut if Taufik's going to pit, but like just do something different to try and jump him. But seems like the strategy was, I was gonna say, seems like the strategy was just pit the same lap and jump him anyway.
He just got in his head, I guess. I'd like to see what happened. Okay, so news is that Wesley Yao and Kyle Billett have left the server. I did notice Kyle leave before. But there was something to do with those guys, which I assume is why Wesley has received the drive-through penalty. So he's Kyle Billett behind Ben Simpson, I believe, or goes for a pretty big send there. And
unfortunately isn't able to make it.
Yeah, and Wesley's. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Bryce Davies as well just got a penalty just then.
10 seconds for lap one as well, so there was a lot of deliberation about that one in the steward's box. Or they just forgot about it, one of the two.
The stewards would never forget.
Yeah, never.
Yeah. I'm still really wondering what happened to Taufik for him to lose the lead, because that's pretty... I mean, that's the most important position on the track, right? It's the leader.
Correct.
How could you, in the words of Will Buxton, like if you're winning, if you're in the lead or something along
19 cars behind.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really interested as to why. John Rad as well, staying out in the Lexus. I mean, if you have clean air and your tires aren't completely dead, I guess it can work. Or Taufik running a bit deep there. He's just slightly, he is in the slipstream of the Lexus, but I feel like he's just not quite able to keep the pressure on like he would like.
I don't think he's going to be able to do much. I reckon he should save the tyres a little bit and mount an attack towards the end when the Lexus has definitely not been as kind to its tyres. So,
agreed.
Might get a repeat of last week, or it comes down to the final lap basically. But yeah, still 25 minutes to go as we see J-Rad has jumped into the pits. We'll see where he pops out. Basically, all of his other Pro-Am competitors have unfortunately received penalties, which are going to drop them back. Dean Nicholson, I think, was a little ways back from where he was beforehand, so we'll see if the undercut, or the overcut, I guess, for Rad has worked more so than an undercut from Nicholson. Here's his entry. That's
fine.
Conservative, but nothing crazy. I mean, Luke D seems to have dived in a little bit more aggressively, but we'll see. I think it dropped. Yeah, so we've got Pete Chalmers here in the chat. Torfik landed short in the box and had to get pushed, so he got moved. So that's the 3 seconds that he lost to Rondinella. That is a rough way to lose the lead and potentially the race.
Yep, definitely. I mean, we've all done it before. We've all stuffed off the pit stop. It's
stupid ACC mini game, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is one area where I do have to give LMU and iRacing props. The whole pit sequence thing, and how you don't have to stop directly on top of your marks in order to not have a horrible pit stop. So, yeah, that is a little bit annoying. Also, another thing at this track is track limits. We haven't seen any penalties come through yet for exceeding them, but I can almost guarantee you by the end there will be at least a handful of people that will get drive-throughs. Yeah, so both of them were pretty much on top of each other. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That is so close.
Oh,
Yeah.
he couldn't see where he was going, so he hit the wall. No.
Yeah, I saw that on the map. I just like looked and I saw 888 was just John Rad 5-second pen. Well, there goes his goes his not having a penalty.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think the overcut worked for him. I'm afraid he's a good 9 seconds, 10 seconds back from Dean Nicholson. So, assuming all goes well for Nicholson here, he's looking pretty good for a Pro-Am victory, which be a very, very solid result in the top 10 overall, top 9 in fact. Once Bryce Davies serves his penalty at the end of the race.
Definitely. Now, Taufik does... look, I still think he has a chance as long as Rondinella makes a mistake, which is definitely possible. But I don't know. He's going to have to sit here right until the end. Still confused how Griffin... it came out. I don't... Do you understand that message, Brennan? Because I don't.
I think Tarab's just a little bit, shocked at how strong the undercut was, especially when the cars in front were in the train, yeah. But yeah, a 5-second undercut is pretty insane. It's usually, in the magnitude of 1 to 2 seconds. So 5 seconds, yeah, is quite the jump that he managed to get.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, he has done this like 3 races already this season. So is anyone surprised at this point? Like, seems like every race pits early and then just flies out. And I think maybe Ibrahim as well has got some got some shiny, no thank you. Got some, he's got a big slide through there. Again, the Lexus pretty gets you through some of these corners, especially with the car right behind you. It's so easy to drive in the mirror with that pressure behind you. So maybe that's just caused...
look who's in the background.
Yeah, I know. Dan Boskova's coming to say hello. These guys keep battling. Again, they will definitely attract some sharks in the water that are sniffing for blood.
Yeah, see in the background there, Bryce Davies all over the back of Ventina. I've also noticed that Ryan King less than half a second behind Griffin. So Griffin has actually jumped up into P3 with that undercut, which is what Tarab was mentioning just before. As Bryce Davies tries the outside there, I think, and just goes a little bit wide, and Ventina gets a little bit more time to breathe, but that tick Lexus is right there on him, and Dean Nicholson is licking his lips because when 2 fight, 3 wins.
Exactly. Especially if he's going to go for a move at Cops here. We've all seen how that goes. Doesn't end too well. Although the Bentley, it is pretty good on top end. I mean, all these cars in this group have pretty good top end. Yeah. That's what I was going to say originally, as Ryan Anderson's pointed out in the chat. Griffin pitted super early. A good 5 or so laps earlier. So he had a lot of time to build up that undercut compared to some of the other people on track. But yeah, all cars pretty strong in a straight line, so we'll see how they go down the straights. That's very wide from Bryce Davies. He has completely overcooked that braking zone. And now
Yeah.
that's allowed Nicholson to get right on his rear bumper. Although the Bentley, it is a pretty hard car to go for big sends in. So I have a feeling he's just going to try sit behind Bryce Davies for now.
He is no longer in front of King.
Yeah.
So, essentially, yeah. So that battle for P3 has just swapped around. As
Nicholson was having for a look in the mirror. Yep. Well, he's had a look, but he hasn't quite made it. But Ben Vinton is thanking his lucky stars because there is a pretty big scrap going on behind him now, which is just allowing him to slightly pull away. Bryce Davies just wiggling on the track. Yeah, so
looking for a mind pump from a second back. I rate it.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I was very interested to see him try and. It looked like he was going to like fake the inside into Stowe, which is a very interesting corner, especially when you're like half defending from somebody behind, because it's such an easy corner to lose a lot of time through, like because it's so high speed and there's so much momentum to it. It's very like it's.
That's Stan Boscovas.
Oh,
Boscovas is stopped on the edge of the track. Sorry to interrupt.
yeah, he had a. That's all good. As he had a spin through turn one, it looks like maybe a helping hand. There wasn't really anybody around him though, so yeah, maybe a bit of a bounce or.
Yeah, those inside curbs. I have a bone to pick with those stupid inside curves at Crocs, man. They just like bounce you for no reason at all. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, we are not commentating iRacing. After, but
we jump onto a
Griffin
replay here.
Yeah, he's just let out of it. Interesting. Huh.
Oh, look at that, right on cue.
Yeah.
Coming up after this, iRacing from Virginia with the one and only Tim Gove and the man, the myth, the legend, Sean Muller. So that'll be an entertaining watch. So don't go anywhere. Got another race coming up.
Do you want to see what happened to old Stan though? Because if he, yeah, obviously he still won the championship, but if he wasn't in that position, that could have cost him
very interesting.
Quite a lot. Yeah. So yeah, we'll hopefully find out what that was caused by. But yeah, Taufik still on the back of Loop Deers. We're starting to approach the final 15 minutes now, so things are heating up. This is when if you pitted a little bit earlier, your tires will start to degrade a little bit. Hopefully not too much by this point, but definitely by the end. I remember driving this track in the Ford was an absolute chore because the left side tires would just get absolutely melted here, just because the thing just does not turn at all. So for those bigger cars, definitely will be suffering towards the end.
Yeah, without a doubt. Andy Bishop close to Ibrahim still, only 0.3 of a second there. So he still stay on board here with Stan Boscovas. Yeah, jumping back. Yeah, it seems like that gap really is ebbing and flowing. Bishop seemed to have a pace advantage towards the start, but I feel like that's slowly dissipating as the stint continues. I know the McLaren definitely suffers from the dirty air more than a lot of the other cars that I've driven. It has a very, very good front end. That was
something dirty air.
Yeah, that was 3 centimeters away from,
absolute disaster,
absolute death for Mr. Bishop there. So he managed to get away with that. Bryce Davies right onto the back of Vintina once again. 0.3 there. So Bryce Davies definitely seeming to having the pace advantage over the BMW driver at this point in time, and Nicholson only 0.3 behind that. So a bit of a train forming once again behind that Falcon number 27. Darrell Lim still a little ways back. Oliver again, actually defending. And Price Davies does go through, almost takes Ben with him. At least it looked like that from our angle there. We'll see if Nicholson can mount a bit of an attack. So Ventina probably not going to fight that too hard, knowing that Price Davies has a 10-second penalty. 15 minutes going to be pretty difficult for him to pull that gap on Ventina. So as much as you want to get it done on track, sometimes you got to cut your losses and just play the long game, play the smart game.
I was going to say, as we get replay right now of Sam Buskovich, looks like it's going to be a self-inflicted, it's just dropped on him early.
Yeah,
so
it's the classic
slow
Lambo.
motion.
Yeah, touch too much speed into a corner, and the rear just says, nah. I'm surprised to snap back the other way. It usually just continues the way you're going. It's just this really slow, lethargic spin that you just can't do anything about. It's so frustrating. But yeah, that is quite unfortunate for Stan. It did seem, I noticed Griffin at the start seemed to be struggling a little bit, like catching a couple snaps of oversteer. So I guess the Lambo probably has to, it must be running max wing or like close to max wing, you'd expect through some of these high downforce corners, but maybe it is running lower wing just to not be an absolute pellet on the straight. So
yeah, exactly. They did the same thing at Spa, and when I was watching the race back, like they were just hanging on for dear life. So it wouldn't surprise me. I was also going to say that Ben Vintner, before he got overtaken, was doing pretty well to gain 6 or around about 6 positions during the race. And yeah, Nicholson as well gained quite a few positions, I think. I can't remember where he started, but I don't think it was quite up there. So we've had some big movers this race. Silverstone always does deliver. And speaking of movers, Loopty did start P3 or P4, one of the two, and he is now in the lead. So pretty good stuff by him. He has made his way through the race, gotten a little bit lucky, I must say, with that Taufik pit stop, as Sakanias is telling us now that he is running maximum wing on the Ferrari. So sorry, the Lambo.
I think this is Griffin. Yeah.
Yeah,
is a death trap.
Yeah, that's what I've seen so far this season.
So jump into the cockpit here of Taufik, chasing down the very brightly coloured Lexus of Jaden Ronanella. Gap again, even here, is just ebbing and flowing. We'll see if he can mount an attack. Like I was saying, in those last couple minutes, as the Lexus tyres, well, hopefully for his case, do drop off quite significantly, and Taufik's able to slip and move back to regain the lead. But yeah, it wasn't as easy of a win as Ben Hickner was predicting for Mr. Taufik at the start of the race. So Loopty's definitely driven a very, very solid race. As much as, it was a little bit lucky that Taufik got moved. That's what got him that last couple seconds. You got to be in it to win it, as they say. So props to Loopty.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good season. Maybe if it was just a little bit more consistent, he would be fighting for that win up against Buskovich. You just see how much Taufik launches it into Brooklands there compared to the Lexus. The Ferrari just has insane amounts of grip, especially into the corner. But then as soon as you get on the straight, the Lexus just says, yep, see you later, I'm leaving now. So not much that Taufik can really do at this stage.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a forward slide or so through turn 1 there. It looked a little bit interesting on the entry, so potentially overworking those tyres as a touch. He's 5/10 or so slower than his personal best of the race, with a 58.7 there compared to his 58.2, which is still the purple lap of the race. They haven't actually improved on outright pace in this second stint, so
58.2 on race fuel is very fast.
It's a very, very solid lap time, yes.
Yeah. So a little bit unlucky to be sitting in P2 with that sort of time. But it's not over till the fat lady sings, so anything can happen. Bishop as well, still hanging on, as well as Nicholson. Although Vintner has dropped off
2.5 seconds almost. Yeah. So a bit of a cork in the bottle there, unfortunately. So we'll see if Nicholson can get past or if Vintner can defend. It's going to be 5 laps after this one to go, or thereabouts. So yeah, we'll see if Vintina can hang on to what is effectively going to be P7 at the end of this race, with Price Davies being demoted a couple positions, probably behind Rad, if my quick maths is close enough. Yeah, I don't think he'll be dropping behind Buskovus, who's another 5.5 seconds behind Rad. So actually, Rad's got a 5-second penalty, so no, he will not drop behind.
Yeah, Taufik just, he's there, but straight line speed for the Lexus is nothing.
I was going to say, it's classic Lexus following gameplay here. You know, you can stick with it, you can't really do much about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, just look at, like, you can see where the Ferrari, it loses so much time in Sector 1, and then going through Sector 2 and 3, it just gains it all back. We'll see if we can stay on this camera here to kind of show you what we mean. So, come through Turn 1, Ferrari sticking fairly close. Obviously, there is still dirty air to contend with here, but then you'll probably see the biggest difference out of the exit of Maggots and Beckett's here. So, Ferrari closing up a little bit, both taking pretty solid lines. But then now once this Lexus gets the power down on the exit, Ferrari very wide, taking that grass line. That is the fastest way through, and Everingham has a DT, so that's the first track limit DT of the race. But yeah, you can just see how much that Lexus gains on the Ferrari down the straight. Just taking away that hard work that Taufik is putting in. You can see how hard he's pushing the car to try keep up, but it's just not quite enough, and especially into some of the braking zones, going very deep there into the entry of Club. And yeah, unfortunately, mistakes like that, which is causing him to drop off the back, it's just what's going to hurt him the most. Because if Lupti has a mistake here, obviously if he's this far back now, he won't be able to capitalize.
Yeah, this is definitely a really good demonstration of slow in, fast out of the Lexus, and fast in, slow out from the Ferrari. So Ferrari, you can absolutely bomb it into corners and basically just plant your foot on exit. The TC will hold you, but unfortunately it does kind of bog down while the turbos spool up in those low range, the low revs, low speed corners, whereas Looped in the Lexus has to get it slowed down early, but then it is able to drive out of the corners quite a bit earlier. So over a lap, they're going to be about the same pace as we saw in qualifying. But in the race, the slow and fast out philosophy is paying dividends. Obviously, the Lexus top speed does help, but I think it's a really good demonstration of those two driving styles, the two different vehicles.
Yeah, definitely. It is quite hard to learn going from both. Like, I know Lupti's driven the McLaren, which is a bit more of a all-rounder or fast in sort of car because of the way it drives with the downforce, but now he's in the Lexus, which is quite different, doesn't quite have the same handling. You should see that Ferrari pushing through that through the exit of Maggots and Beckett through Chapel to try to stay right behind this Lexus, but only 3 or so laps remaining. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off here.
Yeah, you can definitely see how much time the Ferrari does gain through Maggots and Beckett's with that extra downforce, and just a little bit more nimble than the big old Japanese brick of the Lexus. As we jump back on board here with Ben Oliver out behind Rad. This is for effective P2, I think, in Pro-Am class once everything shakes out. So you see a big slide there from Rad on the exit of Maggots and Beckett's into Chapel. I don't think the Porsche is going to have... Well, he's going to have the run for sure, but is he going to be able to do anything with it? I don't think. No. I think the Lexus is still going to pull away, but that's a good sign for Ben Oliver if Rad is drifting like that. That's when you know they're a little bit out of rhythm, making mistakes. Another bit of a slide there on the exit, just hanging the rear out there. He looks for a bit of a jink up the inside. He's trying to put him off. Another slide from Rad. Rad has got those drift slicks on the rear of this Lexus, and he is showboating around in front of Oliver. As Oliver, he looked like he was going to go a bit wider on the exit than he did. Very easy to get track limits through there, especially with the dirty airs. Like when you're just trying to get the run on the car in front of you, you're just like, oh, bugger it, I'll go outside the track limits just a little bit to keep the throttle pinned, and then, you know, boom, there's another one to your tally. So it's a little bit wide from Oliver there. It's going to compromise his exit just a touch, and obviously the Lexus here is just going to walk away, unfortunately. if he's able to, maybe show the nose. I don't think he's really close enough to go for a move, but he might be able to go for a bit of a mind punt if Rad is looking at those mirrors.
Whoa.
As speaking of going for a move, Nichols looking very racy here against Ben Vintina.
Yeah, he is in the Boatley as well. Obviously British track. I'm surprised it's not raining, but here we are.
Miracles do happen, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys, and as well Bishop just behind Bank still, but not able to find a way through as yet. Although, as well, Vintner has dropped 7 seconds off the back of Price Davies here. So the more time, I mean, if these guys start battling really hard, there is a possibility that Price Davies in clean air could bring out that 10-second gap and stop Nicholson from getting P8.
Yeah, correct. My initial prediction may not come out how I expected it to, but yeah, 7.5 seconds, 2.5 laps to go. It's gonna be tight. Like Price Davies is gonna be pushing. Like he'll know that gap has basically tripled in the last 4 or 5 laps, and he's like, I reckon I can do it. I reckon I can do it. Especially, yeah, like you're saying, if these two start battling, it's insane how much time, even the small things you don't realize. And 6/10 here, 3/10 there, lost 3 corners, it adds up very, very quickly over a couple of laps.
Yeah, it definitely does. Only 2 or so laps left though at this point.
Yeah, that's correct.
So yeah, we'll be two laps now, as the leaders are crossing the line as we speak. So I think Nicholson might just get saved by the buzzer here, but he does need to count himself. A little bit lucky as Rad now as well is getting up behind this group, fairly close. So he will also be in this little battle, and it is pretty easy for someone to go for a dodgy send around this track, especially at corners like Cops or Maggots and Beckett. There are lots of places where if you want to go side by side, you can, but you need to be very cooperative to your fellow drivers. So you see Nicholson getting a bit of a slide on the exit there. That's going to compromise him. Now Rad is here to come play, and will definitely have a speed advantage over that Bentley coming down the straight, the hanger straight after Maggots and Beckett's here.
Yeah, actually has to break into that first little kink just before Maggots and Beckett's to not go into the back of Nicholson. So obviously he's got a bit of pace advantage here. We'll see if he can do anything. That was definitely on the grass. I'm not sure actually who that was, if it was Vintina at the start or it was Nicholson, but we'll see.
Brad definitely went 4 wheels on the grass.
Yeah. Because Nicholson's also going to have the slipstream of the BMW head, which might be saving grace here, and Oliver's also going to be licking.
Could be a disadvantage because when you're going that fast, it's easy to miss your braking point, which he's just done there. So, the slipstream is useful, but you still got to keep some things in mind. He almost completely lost that position to Rad there.
Yeah, it's certainly something to keep out for. Those extra couple Ks an hour, you'd be surprised what they do to your braking zone, really. Especially into such a high-speed corner like Stowe. You've also got to, leave some space for the car ahead as well, because as you concertina up, you're naturally going to gain time, or gain distance, should I say, maybe not gain time, as the leaders do cross onto the final lap of the race, as they're actually approaching a blue flag here. So this race might honestly be decided by traffic, potentially. Especially, I don't think they're going to catch them through Maggots and Beckett's here, but you never know. It depends on where he decides to move over and let these 2 faster cars through.
I think he's going to do it on the straight here, which I think it's Beaton. And knowing Beaton, I don't know actually.
Oh, he's a little far ahead. Yeah.
He's actually not going to do it, so we might be in for something here. Loopsy will close up quite a lot. Oh, Taufeeq's had a big moment going into Stowe. He's going to have to go very wide, and that might spell the end as the blue flag drives off the road to get out of the way. Taufeeq just pushing hard. I saw him lock it and introduce a bit of counter steer there to keep it under control. And now Ben Oliver and John Rad right behind Nicholson and Benny V, who is now 9 seconds behind Price Davies. So it is entirely possible here as Ben Oliver looks for a run on the Lexus. However, I don't think that's going to last very long with that Lexus. Although he's picked up the toe from the Bentley here. We'll see. Lexus drops back onto that racing line. That's okay, that's okay. We're just having a look at these leaders. All Dean Nicholson needs to do here is just try to hold his position. Try not to drop too much time.
Park the bus.
Park the bus. Just keep calm and keep driving.
More the boat, I think, is actually more fitting. Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah, park the cruise ship. As we come through Abbey now for the final time in this group, who has given us a pretty good battle here, as well as Loopty coming across the line now out of the final corner to take the win. Pretty solid race from Loopty. Made his way up the grid. Had a few things go his way, but he flashes the lights to celebrate winning the final race of season 26. Taufik in second place, King in third, and Griffin with his usual undercut strategy comes across the line in fourth. Must say that's quite the gain from Griffin as well. There has definitely picked up a few positions from that strategy. As Vintner 9.6 seconds behind Price Davies, so that is insanely close. We'll see if I think the leaderboard is telling the truth there. But yeah,
9.905 behind.
Oh my god!
So Price Davies is literally going to lose the one position. That's all.
No, yeah, Nicholson didn't get it. Oh,
yeah, no.
That sucks for him.
And
so yeah,
Brad is going to drop behind Oliver and Buskovus.
Yeah, well that brings that to a close. Darryl Lim as well, down in P14, did not have the race I think he really wanted. He started quite higher up the grid, I think.
Yeah,
just had
P6, I think.
Not go his way, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll be back next season to give it another crack. Nate James comes through in P15 in that purple McLaren, and then Timothy Everingham still out on track, still decent way away from the finish. He must have crossed the line at the worst time. He's gonna have to keep on driving all the way to the finish. But oh, is that a flappy bonnet? I think it is. He's had a little bit of an incident there, but yeah, he will still come home to take the AM championship as well as the AM win for this race. So congratulations to Everingham there. I believe he's come from the Academy Series fairly recently, so
that is correct.
Props to him for that. Any Academy drivers listening that completed their season, don't be afraid to sign up and jump over to sprints, especially since ACC is starting to wind down in its lifespan. But we'll go over those race results now. As soon as Glenn can get them up.
Yeah, I must say, a very nice livery, that Tick Aston Martin.
Yep. Is that just because you like? Is that because where you used to work, or?
Yeah.
Affiliation.
Yeah. No bias whatsoever.
Yeah.
Cool. So, rounding out the results there, Jaden Rondinella takes out the W in the Lexus, the AAA Lexus there, followed closely by Taufik, less than a second. A little bit further back, we've got Ryan King will round out your overall podium. Jumping over to the silvers, Ibrahim Bang takes yet another silver victory and will take out the championship quite comfortably. Bishop and Lim take out second and third, both in the McLaren. Not too far behind for Bishop there. Pro-Am, Price Davies once again takes out another Pro-Am victory, and I believe the championship as well. No, that's going to be a 10-second penalty. No, Nicholson didn't get it. Sorry. So Nicholson takes second, unfortunately. We thought he was going to grab first with that penalty, and then Oliver will round out your top three there. And then our one lone AM of Timothy Everingham rounds out your pole position, well, your winner there in the AM class. And that's going to do it there for the final round, round 8 of Split Yellow for season 26 of the Thermaltake sprint season. This has been myself and Aidan Squires commentating. We're going to be leaving you in the great hands of Sean Muller and Tim Gobe to take you through the iRacing at Virginia International Raceway.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Thermaltake iRacing GT3 Cup. We're going to call it GT3 Cup this evening from the beautiful VIR, also known as Virginia International Raceway, live from the good old US of A. Fantastic racetrack, this one, 5.2 kilometres. There's technically about 18 turns, but a lot of them are sort of, turns with quotation marks. I am Sean Mullen. Joining me in the box is the one and only, it's my partner in crime, Timmy Goab, aka Gobby. How are you, good sir?
Oh, you're gonna make me blush, Sean. You're really gonna make me blush. Partner in crime. Nobody's ever said that to me before. But yeah, we are here at VIR. Fantastic racetrack. In fact, a lot of the tracks in America are bangers, and this is definitely one of those bangers out there. I've never really driven it in a GT3. I think I've done it once, but I've driven it in a Miata, the MX-5 Cup car, and it's fantastic in one of those. I also driven it in the 8.6s, and it's good fun in those as well. And it seems to look pretty fun in a GT3 as well, but this should be an exciting one, as it always is here with our iRacing GT3 series. Looking forward to it.
Yes, certainly. Definitely going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to this race as well. Of course, it's one of six configurations, according to my math here at Virginia International Race. So running on the full course, so 5.2 kilometres, as I said, 18 turns, and 45-minute race tonight. And of course, they'll be starting on 50% fuel tanks, so they will require a stop. A couple of little hot spots as well around this track. Got the horseshoe, the left hook as well. Down at Oak Tree is always drama down there. We've seen a couple of big crashes down there in real life as well in the IMSA Championship. Actually, I think it was this weekend. Big Corvette, one of the factory Corvettes, went straight into the wall down at Oak Tree. It was, nasty crash through the S's. As we are back now with live pictures, looking at one of the McLarens on screen at the moment, and as we head down through the Snake and the S's now, and this is all flat out as well. Don't let the camera angle deceive you. This is very quick through here, and a lot of this track as well, you're turning but you're full throttle as well, which I think is going to be very interesting when it comes to track position and also track room.
Yeah, this track, surprisingly, as technical as it may look when you're looking at the track map, like you said, it is very, very flat. A couple corners here, like the one that William Morgan just went through, Oak Tree, very crucial to get a good exit out of there, because now you're going through the back straight, and it's a very, very long straight. I think this is one of the prime overtaking opportunities here into turn 19. Turn 19 is also very deceptive because you're turning, but you're not quite braking just yet, because you're turning into turn 19 and it's just a slight hook, but then you're going down to turn 20 and then it's downhill from there on into turn 20, 21. It's very easy to make a mistake here, and obviously you're going downhill, so you're not going to have as much grip as you're used to, but William Morgan here managing it pretty well. He's wondering what time he's going to get. He's not doing too well at the moment, although he is 12 seconds off the times right now, but it's obviously still have to warm up his tires. But as he goes through the start-finish straight, now he will get himself up into P9, but we know he's got more in the tank.
Certainly, definitely not a bad lap there from Morgan. Keep an eye there on the sector splits down the bottom there. We see Dylan Smith has got a bit of purple action happening, so we'll keep an eye there on the Big Bad 347 in the Mustang. There he is on screen at the moment, and he's wound it up as well. Purple second sector, third sector maybe a touch off, but it's still going to be a very nice number here from Dylan Smith. Currently quickest time is Glory Babby with a 45.7 at the moment. That is pretty highly good. I have seen 44s, there has been talk of 44s, but 45 generally seems to be the consensus around the paddock at the moment. And we'll keep an eye on Dylan Smith here, because I feel like this might jump him up here a little bit. As he goes across the line, he does, up to second position. Nice lap there from Dylan Smith. That was quick, and it definitely was quick and very consistent as well. As Benjamin Hignett just goes, I don't think so. Oh, Mr. Hignett with a 145.6 in the BMW. Very nice. Oh, Glory Babbage says, I'll be having that back, thank you. And just goes bang with a 45.2, if you don't mind. That's going to be hard to beat.
We're really starting to get the fast times there. It's looking like Porsches are looking pretty good here. Glory Babby and Strick. As I say that, the Corvette of Lucas Keys, the kid with a 45.213.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. Of course he somehow finds time all of a sudden. He's on pole position, but only just. Glory Babby is not too far behind with by being 0.013, and William Morgan, as I said, there you go, 45.169 for him. So now their tires are warmed up. There is still 3.5 minutes of quali to go, so now we're getting the times. Everyone's got their tires up to temp. Patrick Johnson actually on his outlap, he's gonna have to get it going a little bit there. He's only got, well, about 3 minutes to go, and he's gonna have to lose, well, first of all, his outlap. He's gonna lose a minute there, almost 2 minutes, so he's only really gonna get one lap to get just somehow, somewhat get a banker on. But Patrick Johnson being currently 2.6 off the pace, he's gonna have to find something here.
He certainly is, because his teammates up there in second position at the moment, looking on screen at the one and only Lucas Keys, aka the kid, who is 0.043 off the best time at the moment, which is William Morgan with 45.1. Get the feeling that a 44 might have to be the number here, because to go quicker than a 45.1, you have to gonna flirt with that 44 territory. But we know Lucas has got it in him, because we're back here with Amron Naeem at the moment in the Ferrari, and goes bang like that, a 44.7. That is a huge number there from Naeem. And that pretty much says to the rest of the field, catch me if you can. That's a mega lap. Holy moly, I would love to see the onboard of that one.
I was not expecting, out of all the drivers on the field, nothing to do against Naeem, but he's very new to iRacing. And he's in a Ferrari, but yeah, no, Naeem is quite new to iRacing. He's only gotten it, I say, a month or maybe 2 ago. But if you know Naeem, you know they learned very quick, and he's been a rocket in other sims as well. So at the same time, I'm not surprised, but with the caliber of drivers we have here in our iRacing GT3 series, it's surprising that he's the first in the 44 to say the least, but that's a solid lap from Emerald Name, and it's gonna be tough to beat it.
Very tough to beat. Just looking as well, look at that, 6 different manufacturers in the top 6. So that is beautiful parity, if you don't mind as well. So Ferrari, McLaren, Corvette, Porsche, Ford, and Mercedes. You're 6 at the moment. Of course he is. No, he's absolutely dialed in here. He thought that lap wasn't quick enough. I've stomped the field. Now I want to absolutely bury him into oblivion. Special lap here coming from Naeem. Maybe drop off a couple of those others. We jump on board now. This is what I've been looking forward to. As we fly now up the main straight past the barnyard. Funny looking grandstand. Cracks me up every time I see that. And we'll see what Naeem does. Does he improve his time? It's 44.7, currently the best at the moment. And we're going to go for a proper lap here around VIR. This is going to be a lot of fun. Down into the horseshoe now. Now we are heading up towards NASCAR Bend. Why it's called that, I have no bloody idea. Then we're going to dabber the brakes and then tip it into the left hook. A lot of carnage here as well. It's called left hook for a reason. So a lot of cars get bumped out on the outside there. Then heading up towards the snake. Past the golf club. And then, yeah, it's pretty much flat through here as well. You just want to keep the car nice and straight.
It's pretty much a straight. I guess it's supposed to be zigzags, but this is pretty much a straight. They're flat all the way through here. I think even here, I don't even think they break. I think they just do a slight lift. And here as well, I'm pretty sure this corner is pretty much flat. And then they start breaking here.
There. You got to be careful coming through the South Bend because of the camber there. You get it. Oh, that's a little wide there coming out of the exit of Oak. As we head down the back straight now, it's trying to, yeah, settle down, have a think about a few things, check the fuel, check the splits, then take a big deep breath to the big bold braking zone that is the roller coaster of love. And you're going to just tap the brakes here and then brake it nice and gradually, get the nose turned in, wait for the rear to hook in, and then just flick it back the other way and just wait for the rear to settle. That is easily the best part of the racetrack. This is fantastic through here as well. This reminds me of a lot of British circuits. Cadwell Park comes to mind. And that is pretty much a lap there of VIR and done with one of the best operators going around, Emerald Name. Thank you for that, good sir, if he's listening.
And he does improve
yeah,
as well.
And this goes on 44.6 if you don't mind. That's a Hollywood lap right there. Nice work there for a Name. So that will put him on pole. Babby will be in second. Nice job there for Glory Babby in the Porsche. He's back in a Porsche. Interesting. Of course, he has been running the Mustang, I believe, as well. So nice to see Glory Babby in different mix of cars. John McAdam in third. Nice job there. My man Jish in fourth. William Morgan in fifth. So a couple of new names up towards the pointy end. Couple of big surprises as well. I'll get you to talk about that, Gobby.
Yeah, no, this is again the iRacing series. Look, it's all the way up into P11. They're under a second from each other. It's just insane how competitive this grid is. So very soon, look at how he's waving the flag. He's like, that's the lowest effort flag wave. I remember on another track, one guy was furiously waving a flag. This guy's like, nah, it's just a little wave. But anyway, it's going to be Emerald Name on pole position. In P2 is actually William Morgan. I'm not sure when that's happened. But followed behind William Morgan is Peterson. That looks wrong. I swear it was Glory Babby in P2 and so I'm not sure what's going on there, but we know for sure that it's Emerald Name in P1, and I'm pretty sure in P2 is Glory Babby and McAdam in third, followed by Jeesh and William Morgan in P5 with Pearson Rodriguez in sixth, Lucas Keys in seventh, Alistair McLeod in another Ferrari in P8 with Leo Dreyer in P9, and Nicholas Tarter will be your top 10 for our race here at VIR. So this should be interesting. We've got a multitude of different manufacturers here. Obviously, we've got a couple Porsches up there, a couple Mustangs. We've got the Ferrari, one Ferrari on top and the other Ferrari in P8, and then the McLarens in P5 and 9 with one lone BMW in the top 10.
Yeah, definitely good mixture of manufacturers as well. So we'll look down the grid there. Higdon coming out of 13th. That'll be a bit of a watch for mine. Patrick Johnson coming out of 16th. That'll be a big watch. Him coming through the field. And Chris Taylor's doing his first challenge as well. And I do have it on good authority. Chrissy Cam will be back, caused by popular demand. Wonder what outfit he's got planned for us this evening. Jack Hammond's there coming out of 18th as well. So, yeah, very close grid though. And that's the exciting part. Should make for a very interesting race, I reckon. There's going to be a lot of strategy involved in this one as well, because I feel like clean track around this place is absolutely crucial. Because you are watching the final round of the Thermaltake iRacing GT3 series from Virginia International Raceway in good old Virginia in America. Of course, state of Washington, D.C., if I am correct in that. So we are in the nation's capital. So be all proper. And it's proper NASCAR country as well. Of course, you've got South Carolina below it. You've got Martinsville's about 200 kilometres away. So this is definitely good old boy country. Moonshine running everywhere. And final round. So it's all bets off here, Gobby. I reckon we could see a bit of spice here.
Oh, definitely, and it's looking like we've got a full formation for this race. So another one of the races where we've actually got a full formation lap here. Yeah, because they came out the pits. So that means look at Chris Taylor. He's got the shades on.
Oh
he means business. He means business.
Look
Chrissy
at this.
Taylor. Look at this. I want him to flex his big biceps on me. What?
I'm going to give very much a bit of, .com 90s investment banker action there. Very nice there from Chris Joe. Bringing the class to the organisation. Some of us have to. But his name going to be off pole. Babby in second. It's going to be pretty red hot, I reckon, down into turn 1 into the horseshoe as well. Got to keep an eye on that Porsche of Joshua Sturrock as well. You know the Porsche is very good on the brakes. So there might be a slight opportunity there as well. Long formation lap around as well. This would feel like it takes forever.
Yeah, but it gives the opportunity to warm up their tires.
Just send them.
Yeah, just send it. Who cares about warming up your tires? Just tire is tire grip track. If tire no grip track, tire's fault. But yeah, I'm wondering how these Porsches gonna do as we see. Boring. Patrick Johnson not wearing the full racer this time around, and I think it's for the better. He's not had the greatest qualifying here. He's wearing I think that's from one of the V8 supercar teams.
It is correct, yes.
Yeah,
There's one from the supercar team, so...
I'm not very knowledgeable, but I just remember the DeWalt. That's what's given it away for me. The big DeWalt, but Patrick Johnson not having the
channeling his
qualifying.
Inner bogan there.
So we have a new camera. That's Alistair McLeod.
Here we go.
And
very
rocking
serious
the
here.
G29. At least I think that's a G29. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. I think it might be on the Thrustmaster wheels. I'm not sure, but it's one of those wheelbases. He's full focused. No smile. I want to race. I mean business. And I want to move up the field in my Ferrari. And we've got
finger cam is back.
The finger cam is back.
Quite popular demand. There it is. Thank you.
He's flipping us off. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you. It's the final race of the season. We can have a bit of banter here and there as we have Benjamin Hayden.
Miss Hayden.
There you go. He's got the glasses on. He's got the lights off.
This is a little bit too classy here.
He's got the RGB keyboard. That's an extra 10 horsepowers right there. Alistair mugging older viewers.
And the mow as well. He's got the bit of the Valtteri Bottas mow happening. Big fan of that, Mr. Hayden. Big fan.
Okay.
Here we go, about to go racing. We are green and we are underway. And Ian's got a cracking start. They head down now towards the horseshoe. And that he has absolutely nailed that start. He has brained them. He is long gone. So what's going to happen in the background here? Dylan Smith up the inside. McAdam, up the inside. Should get second position. No, it's Babby. Oh, the Porsche. So look at that. The Ford's run wide. The two Porsches gone. Thank you very much. Oh, now we've got a race. Porsche versus Ferrari. Oh, popcorn stuff this already. I'm excited. Dame, though, got the lead. Glory Baby's going to be all over him. Stroke there in third position. McAdam in fourth, but he's having a little bit of issues there, just getting on the racing line here at the moment. And see there, Rodriguez goes up the inside now and gets that done. Now Morgan, they're going to go side by side through the S's and the Snake. Well, this is where it gets a little dicey here because this is absolutely flat to the floor. So 200, 230, 240 kilometres an hour, and they are, oh, I'll just say it, they are balls to the wall here. This is maximum attack mode, but you just got to be a little bit smart as well. But look at that, Naeem is absolutely gone there. It'll be interesting to see if how the stewards looked at that, because that looked a bit jumpy, but we'll leave that to them. What do you think there, Gobby?
No, because iRacing is different from all the other sims we have. So, like I said in the past, it's once that safety car comes in, the leader has control of the pack, and he, as soon as the safety car has crossed that pit entry line, he is free to go whenever he wants. So it's like a safety car restart. In a way where once the safety car pulls into pits, while the leader has control of the pace and he can go whenever he wants. But as we say that, Glory Babby has actually managed to pass Emerald Name, so Glory Babby in the lead. The Porsche is looking pretty strong here, and it doesn't always make sense. As you said, they've got very strong brakes, but although I love this track is flat, it's flat, but a lot of corners, and we know the Porsche has that agility advantage that the other cars will not have. So although it is a very quote-unquote high-speed circuit, it's a high-speed circuit that requires agility, and the Porsche is just that, a car that has a lot of agility.
We do
have a replay here.
Patrick Johnson
into the wall.
Oh,
Dare I say that might be a rear wing gun. And he's decided to return to garage. That is very unfortunate. Unfortunately, that's looking like race over for Patrick Johnson. We've got another car in the pit, and that is Will Hammond. So I'm not sure what's happened to Will Hammond here. So we do get a replay of there. So that is Will Hammond down the back straight into turn 19.
This could be wild. This could be very wild. Oh, what happened there? Oh, wow.
That's a massive hit for Will Hammond.
That's a huge hit. That definitely looked something. He hit the rear there because that back end just absolutely stepped out on. He had no control over that. He was a passenger the whole time. That's a super quick part of the racetrack as well.
Oh, look at that. So it's looking like a bit of bump traffic going on there from the BMW behind. So let's see as he
dear, oh dear.
Dare I say, the stewards will be taking a look at this one. And I don't think Will Hammond's going to be too happy about that either.
That could have caused a huge accident as well. How that didn't collect another car when it bounced back on the racetrack, I'm stumped. So, bit of action early on, but it is Naeem leading the way. 2.2 seconds to the good over Rodriguez. He has. So what has happened there? Where's Babby gone? So Babby's had a moment as well. Oh, this race has kicked right off. So
we've
Babby
got 45 minutes
lead,
here, boys.
and they now back in the lead. 2.3 seconds to the good. Rodriguez in second, Strook in third. Got a replay coming up here of Glory Babby. So what has happened here? Oh, Porsche things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Porsche then loses the back end.
Porsche things.
Oh.
Porsche things. Oh no. Oh wow. Code Brown, ladies and gentlemen. That is a miracle.
Another replay there, so this is McAdam. Yep. Oh, McAdam's rear as well in the Mustang.
Anything you can do, Naeem, I can do better. Oh, can he ever? Oh, excellent.
I mean, he's doing the correct thing. He's holding his brakes. He lost the car, held his brake, except as the car decided to stop right in the middle of the racetrack. But that is fantastic reaction times from all the other drivers to avoid him. He didn't do anything wrong there. It was the correct action, so you can't really blame him for that.
Well, you mentioned something there as well, and that's a great example of why holding your brakes is so important when you do slide back onto the racetrack. It just means you're predictable for the other cars coming at high speed as well. So that was, two great examples of what to do when it all goes wrong and you do come back across the racetrack. So good heads up driving from both drivers there. Well done.
Yeah, it's not ideal, obviously, to be in the middle of the track, but at least, like you said, predictable. At least there's a gap left and right. It may not be the biggest gap, but there's at least somewhere you can go, and you know that driver is not going to press on the accelerator until everyone's gone through. But that is unfortunate for McAdam as well. So academy drivers, obviously the newer drivers in OR. That's a good thing to note. Sometimes they get wrecked. Sometimes the best thing to do is just hold your brakes, especially in a sim like iRacing where damage is pretty much race ending. Everyone is asleep at the wheel at this track tonight. Although it is a very high-speed track, it's a very technical high-speed track, especially first couple of laps, your tires are not up to temp, so yeah, it's to be expected as well. Just very lucky we've not had more drivers lose it.
Well, the thing with VIR as well, it's got a lot of elevation change, which just changes all these corners completely. As we go through here, this is a great example of the elevation change. Looking at Chrissy Taylor here at the moment, working on the back of Christian Wells. This is down in 15th and 16th. Let's head down into Oak Tree now. Love the name of this corner, Oak Tree. Reminds me of a golf hole. But as you were saying earlier on, in qualifying there, it is easily the most important corner on the track as well, because it does dictate your top speed to go this long back straight. And then, of course, this part of the circuit, which is just all about grass ones. Here we go. Hang on, is that a Carlton? Okay, we need to keep an eye on this livery, please. What is going on here from Jack Hammonds? This needs to be discussed. So, no, I think he's taken the piss out of it. We need to get a closer look at that, because I don't know if that's a... No, he's taken... There's some memes on that. There is some absolute memes on it. I can see the Sydney Swans one. I won't mention it, but I can see it. Jack Hammonds, well played, sir.
So you're telling me is he's taking the P word. I'm not gonna say it because we are live, we are streaming, we are here for all the audiences, but he's taking the P word. I'm just gonna assume. I don't know anything about AFL or is this AFL? I don't know. I live in Southeast Asia, as we got a camera of the kid. And he's currently sitting in P5, has gained 2 positions from his qualifying spot, so he's moving up. Carlton and Essendon. I wish I could understand all of this, because I'm all
you're
for
right,
shenanigans and memes.
Ooh, that's a little wide there from Mr. Hignett in the BMW. That won't go down well. Just look at the setup, though. I mean, we really have to appreciate this. Just the full triple screens. Bit of lighting, mood lighting there as well, and the bow.
Watch out, look how close he is to the BMW ahead of him. But yeah, that's a very nice setup, and all income is a disposable kind of setup. Yeah, he's just chilled, he's relaxing, he's not even stressed out. He's got his glasses on, he's not broadcasting today. It's Glenn broadcasting for us, so he's just
for our viewers, of course. If that was Tim Goad, Cam, you'd be seeing swearing, you'd be seeing this and that, and all sorts of shenanigans going on.
Flipping the finger.
Yep.
It's just my nature. But however, and John Gormley can atone to this, I've been much more calm as of lately. I've been a lot more calm. I mean,
this is good racing.
But it is very good. We've always got good racing here in iRacing. I don't know what it is with this iRacing series, but it's always pack racing is the best. Oh, bit of a snap here from Benjamin Hignett, but he catches it in his BMW. But we've always got this kind of like big packs of cars just racing each other, and it just makes it so entertaining. And obviously, it's a very enjoyable watch in general. The netcode just looks very good here on iRacing. It's just an enjoyable watch. But yeah, these guys drive.
That's a moment. Dylan Smith, that's a big moment.
That's a very, very big moment.
He's going, he's gone.
He is gone. But
dear idea. Dylan Smith. I just saw that in the background there, and it's funny actually he went on that part of the track, because I'll talk about in the IMSA coverage about the grass here at Virginia International Raceway, where it has a tendency to just get caught everywhere and that. And that was one of the spots on the track exactly where it happened. So big moment there. As we're looking here at the second of the Mustangs going to work now. Oh, always gets me nervous here when they go side by side up towards here. Got to be super brave, but gets that done nicely. Nice work there from McAdam. Clean as a whistle. And now he's got to get the head down. Oh, here we go. Back here with Struik and Morgan. Joshua Struik, really keen to see him. I'm a bit biased here, but I really want him to finish on the podium this evening. He's been putting in the hard yards here. He is very frustrated with Gran Turismo at the moment. Thinks the physics over there, well, I'll just quote him, shithouse. So he's back here on iRacing, trying to get himself a podium. He's driving very nicely at the moment, I will say. I don't want to put the jinx on him, but just doing a nice old job here. And I'll tell you what, Rodriguez is just up there ahead. He's not getting away as much as I thought. That gap up the front though, 3.2 seconds out to Naeem. Just controlling the race nicely now. Getting into a rhythm, hitting his marks. And I feel like this has got a bit of drive away, no more to pay feel about it. Just through all the practice sessions as well, just had a quick look at a couple of the streams, and yeah, he was up the top of the timesheets the whole time, so he's dialed in here.
Very much dialed in.
Nice to see a different car.
I do love the elevation change. You can see how dramatic it is on this track. It's just that has one of the main characteristics. Yeah, a bit of grass there. But it's one of the main characters, even down the main streets, as you can see, the distance just goes down and up. I can't imagine the feeling you may get in your tummy. You know, if you've ever ridden a roller coaster when you go down. Oh, John McAdam getting a massive slingshot here. Oh, but not quite enough to make a move onto Chrissy Taylor. Chrissy Taylor now back up to P14. He's just been starting from the back, Chris Taylor. Obviously, he has the pace. He's gone up 7 positions. McAdam, however, has lost 12 positions from where he's qualified. So he's got a bit of an uphill battle. But bit of a mistake from Chris Taylor here. And McAdam with a massive run. Much better exit in the big Mustang. And he, dare I say, gets the move done before even turn 1. So McAdam is out on a recovery drive, and now we got Chrissy Taylor Cam. He changed his glasses. He was wearing sunglasses before, and now he's in serious mode. He's a bit more serious. He's got his reading glasses on, to say the least, and is gonna try and go back as far up as he can. Perhaps try to learn a bit from McAdam, because McAdam seems to know this track pretty well. Virginia, one of the free tracks on iRacing. So if you do have iRacing, first of all, it's a fantastic track, and I'm pretty sure it's free, so you can throw down some laps. And dare I say, it's probably one of the more sweaty tracks here on iRacing due to the nature of it being free. Obviously, well, I say free. You have to pay an iRacing subscription as well. But yeah, once you get your hands on iRacing, it's one of the great tracks you can get your hands on without spending more money. But as we're looking at Nicholas Carter currently in P8, getting hunted down by Benjamin Hignett and Glory Babby. Glory Babby back up to P10 after his incident. Again, another one of these drivers on a massive recovery drive, and he does have the pace to do it, Glory Babby. We've seen in the past, so don't count him out.
No, definitely don't count him out. I got a feeling we'll see a bit of change in the pit stops coming up, because as I was saying, clear track is going to be so important around here, because not all the racing is done in these big GT3s on iRacing. Because coming up on Saturday we have a special event. As we're just looking at Glory Babby here, just sends it up the inside, if you don't mind, there at the horseshoe, and gets that done very nicely, if you don't mind, umpire. Beautifully done there from Babby, and that moves him up into 9th position now. Now he's off after Nicholas Carter. A couple of BMWs here, because got the community event coming up on Saturday at Alton Park in the BMW M2. Fixed setup, so you don't have to worry about setup. You just jump in and drive it. A lot of fun to drive, actually. I've been practicing for this gobby. I've been sweating it a little bit. So I'm fired up. I'm in the zone. But yeah, come along. It's going to be a lot of fun as well. And good way to learn and sort of understand the intricacies of iRacing, And you never know, you might get yourself on cam one day and be
Look
like
at
Alistair
that.
McLeod here.
McLeod,
Look at the focus. Oh, yes.
He's focused, holding off his position. He is under threat from Nicholas Carter, but he's not letting that distract him. He's just focusing on driving and keeping it ahead and perhaps making a couple more positions. He does have a bit of time to find to Leo Drew, which is about 6 seconds ahead, actually. So now his main concern is probably the cars behind. Again, like I said, iRacing, we always get these little trains. We have a lot of pack racing going on here on iRacing. It's fantastic to see. And most of the time, it's been pretty clean. Obviously, sometimes you do have mistakes. We're only human after all. But most of the time, it's just some fantastic racing here, as we do get a couple cars in the pits already. It's 16 minutes in the race, so very early pit stop for somebody. Yeah, very, very early. I know they've got half tanks, but that means they should at least be able to go 25, 30 minutes on those half tanks. But now we're back with Benjamin Higdon again. Oh, he looks a bit more focused now, Benjamin Higdon. He's just looking a bit more focused.
I'll tell you what. Look at that up ahead, though. Oh, it's getting spicy up ahead here. I just caught that at the corner of my eye here. So Glory Baby's in this pack here with Carter. Is that Carter? Yes, it is Carter and McLeod. So nice battle here brewing up here, and Mr. Higdon's coming along for the ride. Now this is, if I'm Baby here, this is where I'd be thinking about a pit stop. This is where I'd be thinking about it going, you know what? This is starting to hold me up. Come in, do my pit stop, and then get out in some clean air and see if I can make track position that way. We'll keep an eye on Lucas Keys as well, because he's the one that did stop there. Ooh, slight mistake there from the Porsche. Just see the understeer, didn't want to get the nose in. So we'll keep an eye on Lucas Keys as well as his race plan plays out, as he was the first of our stoppers. So it is Dame leading the way. 3.5 seconds to the good from Rodriguez. Struik in third, as Baby's got to run now in the Porsche. Porsche power, flat 6, 9,000 RPM. Trying to go past around the BMW around the outside. Probably not the place to do it there at the roller coaster, but he gave it a fair crack. Oh, 10 out of 10 for effort. They plunge down the hill now. And then it is flat down this. Well, would you call this a straight, Gobby? I don't think I'm going to call it a straight. I'm going to call it a kink.
A kink, yes, sorry. I just got back. My body's not cooperating with me, Sean Muller. It's the last race of the season, so I'm having a couple beverages, and my body's not cooperating very much. But I am back, and Glory Baby is on a charge. It's looking like he's looking for a move on Nicholas Carter. He does have the pace, but there's also Alistair McLeod ahead, and Carter probably trying to make a move on McLeod too to try and get ahead of the Ferrari. So this could get it's looking like it's getting. Oh, as I say that, Carter with a bit. Mistake and for a spot, and that is exactly what Glory Baby needs, and that mistake absolutely ruins his exit, and Glory Baby looking like he's gonna be ahead, and he is ahead, and that's another position made up for Glory Baby, and now is going to be on the hunt for the Ferrari of McLeod, and that battling behind has actually given McLeod a bit of a gap, a bit of breathing room for the Ferrari driver, as we do get a fantastic shot here from our broadcaster, Glenn Germain, putting in the time to give us these beautiful images of these guys racing. But yeah, Glory Baby definitely has the pace out there. Even after his mistake, it's looking like he's charging his way back up to the front.
Certainly is. He's doing a very nice job making it look easy out there, but it's certainly not. What a fantastic shot this is. This gives you a real understanding of the elevation change here at VIR, and these sweeping turns as well. Really is a picturesque part of the world. Such a picturesque circuit as well. It's got that real community sort of, you know, farm vibe. I'd expect to see a couple of, you know, sheep out the back and a couple of cows rolling along somewhere. I mean, look at that grandstand. That's just magnificent.
Yeah, it's
beautiful circuit.
Definitely a
fun fact,
beautiful. Yeah.
I've got a fun fact. It was actually originally opened around the 50s, and it actually closed down in 1974 due to the oil crisis, and it was actually abandoned until 1998. And then they reopened again. So all these sort of farmhousey looking things that you see around VIR are actual legitimate farmhouses. So there's a lot of agriculture around this part of the world. especially in that Virginia, South Carolina region. And yeah, that's the story of VIO. So it was abandoned for nearly 30 years.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. But yeah, no, that's crazy. Especially, it's actually then technically a pretty recent track. If you're talking 1998, that makes it just 27 years old, 27, 28 years old. That's pretty nuts, actually. If you think about it, because if you abandon a track for 30 years, everything gets overgrown, so you have to redo all the infrastructure. I'm surprised it's even lasted 30 years without getting bought and turned into, like you said, another farm. So that's always good to see. It's a bit heartbreaking seeing racetracks disappear. There's all the great.
I could do a whole commentary broadcast on abandoned racetracks. So yeah, it breaks my heart seeing as we're watching Lucas Keys here, finger cam in full motion here, trying to work on the back of Diomede. Setting up towards the roller coaster now. I feel like Lucas Key should be able to get this done. He's positioned his car nicely onto the inside kink there. But he's going to be on the outside for the second part of the coaster, but gets it done. Breaks it nice and late. He had all the confidence in the world there. That's a focused looking kid there at the moment. He knows how important these laps are. Got to put in some Hollywood numbers now to see how much time he can make up, especially coming in early as he did. He's also got to make these tyres last a little bit longer as well. And the Corvette, from what I've seen on onboard as well, doesn't look like a lot of fun around here.
It's a very snappy car, the Corvette. I think that's due to perhaps the shorter wheelbase that it has. Just naturally is going to. Oh, that Aston actually had a bit of a moment there. Needed to correct, and yeah, look at that. The kid already closing in, already looking for a move. As he's right on the rear bumper of that Aston, and already gets the move done here. So Lucas Keys on an he's in kid mode, definitely on an absolute charge, especially with pitting early. He's gonna try and get as far up as he can and perhaps undercut the drivers ahead of him, but we are yet to see. But these drivers ahead should start pitting in the next 7 or so minutes. I suspect. So we will see. We will see.
We will see. It is all the play out. Of course, we're still only 22 minutes into the race, so that looked a little spicy there between McLeod and Babby. And you wouldn't know by looking at McLeod's face cam there. Just a picture of focus and concentration and just stoic in his. It's like, I am not letting you pass at all. We'll see what Glory Babby's got to say about that. His head down now for another lap down towards turn 1. Maybe just doing the old show the nose there a little bit, just a little bit of left and right, just to get in that rear view mirror and just cause a bit of a distraction. That's an iconic shot though. Just seeing a Porsche in your mirror with the Mobile One across the bonnet.
In general, a beautiful, beautiful car, the Porsche. I mean, aesthetically, it's very aesthetically pleasing to look at.
It is. It's a beautiful bit of machinery. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Porsche podcast.
Who wouldn't mind? I wouldn't mind owning a Porsche. McLeod brought up with that stiff. Oh my god. He's focusing. Stop bullying him. Be nice to him. We enjoy these face cams and these drivers. Just,
they're brilliant.
They are brilliant because you don't just see what's going on track, but you can see you're seeing their facial expression and actually their actual steering input, because sometimes what you see on the sim is not actually what they're inputting. So it's always interesting to see. I think it's like Sean said, it's brilliant.
I think it gives us an insight to their personalities as well, and I think it's great. So a big thank you to all the drivers. I know it's not easy. Some people aren't comfortable putting themselves on camera, or unless you're Chris Taylor, who just goes for the full broadcaster setup. I reckon he's digging a bit of the librarian look this evening. That's what I'm getting the vibes from. A bit of the tweed jacket style. I like it. It's back. Oh, very good. Yes, very good there from Gobby. So on board here with Joshua Shriek. Lovely shot, this one over the rear. over the best bum in motorsports. And he's got William Morgan all over him, cheap suit style. But Streak doing a nice job, just keeping consistent. Feel like he's not overdriving the car this evening, just letting the car come to him. And that's the trick with the Porsche as well. You've really got to let the car come to you. As soon as you start, I wax on about this all the time, but as soon as you start overdriving a Porsche, it'll bite you on the ass so quickly.
It does not like it.
No, not at all.
He's missing a front bumper, Zeos, so I'm not sure what's happened to him there, but his front bumper appears to be gone. But we're back in that three-way battle, and it's looking like Geesh is actually closing in on Rodriguez here. He's about 0.5 behind, 0.6 behind, although he is under pressure from William Morgan. Geesh is looking to make a move and perhaps get himself into second position here. But Rodriguez is not slow either, and he's as I say that, just goes into the pits, looking for perhaps an undercut here on Rodriguez. So we'll see what happens there. But 26 minutes in, that's when you suspect the drivers to start pitting in. As we're now with Jaden Rondinella, that is Loopy looking for a move on his two, and he does get it done on the adjustments. This could end up in disasters. He's really not leaving him any more room than he needs to as they go side by side into 19. But Loopy gets the move done in the Porsche. That is confidence 101 there.
Beautiful move there from Loopy. And of course, coming off another win over in ACC land, this man is on a wave of confidence at the moment as he pops in the pit lane. And yeah, we've got a few now. Getting a bit busy in the pit lane. Starting to look like Boxing Day sales down there. As everyone comes in for some fresh boots or fuel. Did they get fuel? Fuel. They get fuel.
Yeah, fuel. I mean, they can put tires if they want to. The problem is it's going to take them a couple of laps to get them up to temp. So it's not really worth it, especially with short races
not around
like this.
VIR.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the track to have cold
exactly.
Exactly. 7. What's that? 7. Zeos has looked like he's had another moment there, and he's gone back to pit. So I'm not too sure what happened there. Just saw the red marker pop up on the screen, and he's unfortunately out. And we're going to have a replay here by. There we go. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, what? What? Huh? Okay.
Okay.
Even a broadcaster, he just perhaps a hardware failure for Zeos, but unsure. But he's decided no, he's had enough and has gone back to garage and is out for the race. Yeah. But unfortunate. But it looks like some kind of hardware failure.
So Rodriguez, Morgan, Dreyer, and this is really important here. Where is Struik? This is super important to see where everyone cleanses out now. Here's Struik.
Morgan.
Oh, he's lost positions here. Oh, that is not going to do his sense of humour any good at all. He won't be happy about that. So he mustn't have had the best outlap. He's lost a lot of time. What is going on there? So Morgan and Rodriguez have gapped him.
Yeah, so
maybe just he had a bad outlap.
Yeah, perhaps bad outlap. Yeah, but yeah, 3 seconds behind. That is pretty massive. So now he's got a bit of an uphill battle himself to get back on the podium positions. The kid is still in P5, but you can see him in the background there. So he's not going to be in the clear here, but Rodriguez now still in P2. Still 4.3 seconds to Admiral Name. Actually gained a second on Name after the pit stop. So yeah, perhaps pitting early was not the best idea.
This isn't over yet.
It's not over. It's not between Rodriguez and Morgan for P2. And that's exactly what Geese needs, because Rodriguez will not give away that position that easily. So if these guys battle, it's just going to give Geese just what he needs to get back up into things and start fighting his way back up into where he was in P3. So these two do need to be careful. They do need to be careful. It's although he is 3 seconds behind, those 3 seconds can shrink really quickly if they start battling a bit too hard.
Very much so. It's all to play for now. So it is Amonim leading the way, 4.5 seconds to the good. And then this fantastic battle we're watching at the moment between Rodriguez and Morgan. And then we've got Struik about 3 seconds off the pace of these two. And then Lucas Keys there in 5th position. He was our first of the stoppers. So he's made up a nice little bit of ground there. But this is the fight we're all focusing on, because this one I think is going to go the distance. So we're on board William Morgan at the moment, and you can just see the real intricacies of this VIR track. A lot of little direction changes, a lot of little camber changes, a lot of blind corners as well, a lot of uphill braking zones, which you're turning in a little blind, and you just got to trust that the car will do what you want it to do. I love this part through here. It's just, this just gives you that feeling you get. Makes you feel like a driving god when you get it absolutely right, and it makes you look like an absolute idiot when you get it wrong.
Out for Oak Tree, they go
there.
down.
Jeez, that was nice through there.
Very, very nice as they go down the back straight. And again, we'll get the onboard after 19.
Roller coaster of love.
Yeah, roller coaster of love. It's all downhill after this as they go down the back straight into 19 now. And now it's all downhill, and it's absolutely, when you're driving, you know, it's one of the few times where spectating, it doesn't look that bad, but once you actually drive it, it's absolutely terrifying, this section. Obviously I love it, but it is terrifying. It's very easy to lose it, but these guys just make it look easy.
Oh, you are terrifying. Take a prototype through there.
I can't even imagine driving a prototype on this track. Yeah, absolutely terrifying. Again, this as they go through turn 1. These guys just make it look easy. That's what I hate. They make it look easy. Yeah, it's easy. 44 is easy. It's no sweat. And then I'm driving it, and I'm 5 seconds off the pace. Like, what am I doing wrong? But yeah, William Morgan around the rear bumper of Rodriguez. Like you said, this is gonna be the battle to watch out for to the end, I reckon.
Yeah, certainly. Both driving magnificently at the moment. Morgan just, he's got a little bit in the tank. I feel there is a couple little spots there on the track that I thought, oh, he's got an opportunity there. Oh, back here with Babby and Carter going at it. And Babby's going to try and go on the outside. You're not going to get around there, sir. I know you're a bloody good driver, but that's not the spot to do it. So head through the snake. Then down towards South Bend. Another great part of the circuit. Every part of this track's, oh, geez, babe. Oh,
all over the rear.
Wow, that was something.
He's looking at perhaps
through there.
Perhaps he's getting a bit frustrated here, but all he needs is that BMW to make a mistake right here. Just mess up the exit there. And the BMW did look like it had a bit of a snap there, exactly like I said, and that's probably enough for Babby to get ahead. But as you see, he's closing. He's now, apologies. He's now down the inside. He's gonna get that move done before the corner once again. That's exactly what he needed, and I've mentioned this in the past. You need that exit out of Oak Tree is absolutely crucial on this track because of this long straight. And there you go. That is another move done for Glory Babby. So moving up the field ever so slowly. Now he's gotta find his way towards and past Lucas Keys, but Lucas Keys is very, very far ahead, so it's gonna be a bit of an uphill battle from here on.
Yeah, I think so, but that is still a nice recovery drive there from Babby. It's back here with Hammond and Rondinella. And we've got Leo Dreyer in there as well, so a bit of a three-way fight. A little surprise here from Leo Dreyer. That's probably the one on. Big shock for me. I thought he'd be a bit further up. Obviously, he's had a learning experience race. We all have those. Here we go. Side by side now. Mercedes versus Porsche down the main straight. I've got a feeling I know how this one's going to end. That Mercedes is an absolute rocket ship. And gets that done nicely. Classic VIR move there. Does Loopty want to have a conversation about it? He does.
He's still here.
He wants to have a very big conversation. But holds on there. Nice job there from Hammond. Loopty taps back in behind, and then Leo Dreyer. Hats off to Leo Dreyer as well. That could have got real ugly, but just kept his wits about him. A little bit of race smarts. And they will truck on, and I'm sure they will battle again. Just looked a little awkward there where Loopty was placed. I thought, oh, this could end bad, but all ends well, starts well, something like that, I think the saying goes. So it is Admiral Neem lead the way, 5.3 seconds to the good from William Morgan. Peterson Rodriguez there in third position. Joshua Stewart there in fourth. Lucas Keys in fifth. Morgan, what's going on here?
He's actually
Morgan's got Rodriguez. Morgan's got Rodriguez. Wow, look at that. Morgan, get around him. He's on fire this evening.
Maybe we'll be able to get a replay of what's happened there, but yeah, no, Morgan in the we get a replay. So there bit of a snap there. We're gonna go back a little bit, but there was a snap from Rodriguez again. Oak Tree, exactly. Lost it on the exit there. It's so easy to do. It's satisfying when you get it right, but it's a pretty awkward corner here as we're now back as we look at Rodriguez here as they go into the entry here. It goes a bit wide, already loses the rear here and on the exit, and he's on the dirty part of the track as well. You can see how dirty the track is there, and that's exactly what Morgan needed to get that move done. So good job on Morgan, and yeah, I'm not saying that battle's over. It is Rodriguez in a Mustang after all, and Mustang is a pretty nimble down the straight. It's just probably one of his strongest points. So we'll see. He's still in the rear bumper of Morgan, and Rodriguez is going to want that position back as we're back in that battle between Jaden Rondinella and Leo Dreyer. And Leo Dreyer around the rear bumper of the Porsche, and he's going to look for a move there as they go through, what's this section called?
That's
Snake.
Going up towards South Bend. This is South Bend right here.
Yep. So, Jaden Rondinella under a lot of pressure from Dreyer now. He's gonna want to keep it clean there. Dreyer's gonna take all the opportunities that he can get, but Loopty looking like he got here we go. So he's gonna cover the inside here, Loopty, but I reckon
he's got this easy, Dreyer. This is a classic. We set him up perfectly. He's just got to break it that little bit like
yeah, he's got it done easy.
Yeah. I think Loopty backed that one off. I think Loopty didn't want to really argue with that one. And he's going to let Leo push on ahead. Just looking down the field there as well with the gaps. So it's all pretty standard except for this battle up here. This is where it's at. Morgan and Rodriguez are still going at it. So come through the South Bend now down towards Oak Tree. Been a fantastic battle this whole race. We're 38 minutes in, so not long to go in the Thermaltake iRacing GT3.
Again.
Oak Tree biting again. Classic. Gobby's mentioned it once, and now everyone's decided to stuff it up.
Gonna annoy everyone with that
Mustang. Just does not have the power that I thought on the little McLaren.
I mean, it would, but it's just looking like Rodriguez is a very pointy front end on this car, on the Mustang, which I don't blame him. Thing's a bit of a pig of a car, but he's got it's looking like he's got it set up very pointy on the front end, but that also means it's got a very light rear end, and you've got to be very smooth on your inputs. Yeah, we go towards turn one now, but the Mustang just not quite closing enough there. I mean, he's showing his nose. He's trying to force Morgan into a mistake,
which is going to compromise him here.
It is definitely going to compromise him, but Morgan is not flinching. So, especially, we've only got 5.5 minutes of racing to go, maybe plus one lap, depending on where Admiral Name is. Admiral Name's still in the lead with a 6.2 second lead, so Admiral Name's at a pretty, I say, boring race. I mean, the start was exciting for him, I reckon, but after that, it's just nobody to battle. So like we said, that you can see him just in the distance there. That is Admiral Name. Massive gap between him and Morgan, so he's pretty much in the clear there. And Morgan's probably more focused on Rodriguez behind, as Rodriguez really closes in here, really starts to show his nose to the McLaren as tries to force a mistake here, but we'll see. He really needs a good exit there. It's looking pretty good now. It looked like the Mustang had a pretty good run through there, but it doesn't seem to be close enough to the McLaren to make a move. That McLaren, that Morgan seems to be pretty good out of the exit of Oak Tree there. So I think what Rodriguez needs is a pretty big mistake from the McLaren driver to get that position back.
Yeah, certainly Morgan's driving that McLaren beautifully straight at the moment. Just absolutely hitting every apex and every braking marker spot on, and there's just nowhere for Rodriguez to go. He's mighty through some of these sections though, especially the big downhill sections. He absolutely flings that Mustang through there and tries to carry as much corner speed as possible. But McLaren just looks like it's really well balanced around here. Looks like the package is working well, and Rodriguez can try all he likes, but all Morgan has to do is just drive the racing line, and it's just simply nowhere paid. Oh, look at this action here. Well, former Australian cricket captain Michael Clark's involved here, so you know this is going to be good. And Christian Wells is in there as well, and Dylan Smith, couple of Porsches and Fords going at it. So flinging themselves through down in the Hogs Pen and up towards the start of another lap. We've got a tick over 4 minutes remaining. This has been a fantastic race. Of course, a final round of the season. And then it'll be a well-earned... Oh, we've got another fight here as well. William Hammond and Chrissy Taylor involved here, and Leo Dreyer. So Chris Taylor started from the back of the grid, up 7 positions, so a nice, solid drive. There is the Liberian going about his business. Everyone just quieten down a little bit, don't get too excited. Really digging the jacket though. It almost, it reminds you also of some ABC radio commentary style as well, you know. You can just hear him say, yes, we are here at the Motorsports. The lean as well. You got to have the lean. Are you a leaner, Gobby? He's run away. Well, get stuff to me then. Well, here we go. Chris is going to have to get to work though, because Will Hammond's got a nice run here, heading off down towards Oak Tree. Oh! Shuts the door though. I've seen, yeah, he enjoyed that. He enjoyed his work there. He'll be watching this back going, hey, look at me, bit of me time. I wonder.
Oh, bit of a snap on the Corvette.
Yes.
That's not what he wants. It doesn't. Now that Mercedes is going to have another look, I reckon. Yeah, and
oh, look, the lean forward as well. He's dialed right in here. What's he driving on? I don't reckon he's got a wheel. It looks like he's
mouse and keyboard.
We can't see his wheel. So how do we know what he's
side by
using?
side for a year, but he does get the inside out of 20. Oh, that's fantastic racing from these two, door to door,
good.
but keeping it fair, not taking each other out. That is fantastic. Beautiful racing, and Will Hammond does get the move done around the outside for the final corner.
Will Hammond!
Beautiful move. That is an absolute beautiful move, and now Chris Taylor under threat from the McLaren. Watch out, Leo Dreyer looking on the outside once again. Hammond trying to cover the inside. It's not 3-1, surely not for turn 1. But Chris Taylor's going to try and hold off the McLaren of Dreyer now, and it does hold him off. Oh, bit of a snap for Dreyer there, but then some beautiful racing from these three.
Fantastic racing by all three drivers here. Will Hammond, what a move that was. I think we undersold it there a little bit. That was a stunning move from Will Hammond. Around the outside, if you don't mind. That is very much, look at me, I've got brass ones. Lovely driving. And Chris, you can see he's enjoyed himself out there. I reckon he's got the stream up. You see that little look to the side there? He's just watching himself. This guy. But driving
I love you,
magnificently
Chris.
well. Leo Dreyer, though, looking very racy there in that McLaren. He's not going to give this up without a fight. There is no doubt about that.
Seems to be very close to his steering wheel, Chris Taylor.
I know, I'm trying to work out how it's set up. I'm just
Perhaps-
trying to imagine it sort of.
He's sweating.
It's hard
I
work.
don't, it is hard work. I don't blame him. He's wearing all this clothing. But yeah, Chris Taylor, he's having fun out there. He's not stressed. He's just smiling, having a bit of a giggle. It's the final race of the season. Might as well have a bit of fun there. But he's still under the threat from Leo Dreyer as they go through the final quarter. I think that was the final. Yeah, it was the final quarter. Leo Dreyer's getting the better run there. The Corvette seems to be struggling a bit. Squeezing him very hard there.
That's a bit
Forcing
spicy.
him tight. That is very spicy as they go side by side into turn one. We're gonna get a move around the outside once again. But Crazy Taylor does hold off, but he will be forced around the outside in the next corner, but doesn't get ahead. A bit of contact there between the two.
He's gone.
He's
gone.
and he's having a bit of a laugh. He's having a bit of a laugh. He's not even sweating about it. He's just having fun out there, Chris Taylor. I do know Leo Dreyer and them are probably on voice chat as well, so they are good friends too. A bit of contact between the two. As now we're back in a battle between Benjamin Hignett and John McAdams. So John McAdams has closed the door, closed the distance. But as we're talking, it is the final lap of the race for these two. The race is over. Emerald Name takes the win with William Morgan in P3 managing to hold off Peter Rodriguez. So we're just getting distracted. It's just what happens here on iRacing with the amount of content we get there. And Strick will be in P4, and Lucas Keys has managed to close the gap, just not quite close enough, and will be in P5. Good recovery drive from Glory Babby as well. Managed to get himself back up to P6 after falling all the way down the grid. But it was fantastic racing. Even in qualifying, we got distracted. And not qualifying, not the race start. We were just fantastic content here.
Very good race there from Amarine. Class of the field. Lovely drive. Morgan in second. Rodriguez there in third. They're our three. Couple of notables there as well. Struick there in fourth position. So having a quick look up and down the field there. Nice drive there by Chris Ramel's up 5 spots. So nice solid drive there for him as well. Nicholas Carter up there 3 spots in the 711 BMW. As looking at Mr. Jaden Rondinella crossing the line there. There's Chrissy Taylor, the librarian. Nice work there. Lovely drive. Alistair McLeod, super serious camp. Yep, and that's his reaction. Even when he goes head on into a ball at full tilt. Yep, not a flinch. Jack Hammons wins livery of the day, 100%. Diamondi there, nice job there in 19th position. So that is it for the season. So it's been a good season. Thoroughly enjoyed it as well. Definitely enjoyed commentating on iRacing. It's been a lot of fun. The racing's been absolutely real classy as well. Really good, solid, hard racing. Not a lot of penalties given out, which is fantastic to see. So recapping our race results there. It is Emerald Neem leading the way, 8.4 seconds over William Morgan. Peterson Rodriguez there in third position. Joshua Struick there in fourth. Lucas Keys, the kid, in fifth. Glory Babby in sixth. Nicholas Carter in seventh. Mr. Hignett there in eighth position. Johnny McAdam there in ninth. DJ Smith in 10th position. Former Australian cricket captain Michael Clark in 11th position. Christian Bell's there in 12th. Willie Hammond with a move of the race there in 13th position. Leo Dreyer in 14th. Luke D, fresh off his ACC win there in 15th. Chrissy Taylor in 16th. 17th was Alistair McLeod. And Jackie Hammonds there in 18th position. Well, there we go. Season done. Gobby, where's our bonus?
Yeah, where's the bonus? Glenn? It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a pleasure commentating with you throughout this season, Sean. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like you said, I love commentating with you. Thank you to our broadcasters, obviously Glenn Germain and Benjamin Hignett, which was racing today. But I think Benjamin Hignett is taking over the broadcasting for tomorrow because it's not over yet at OR. We do have our WEC series for First Split, and we're finishing our season off with a split red. But once again, thank you to Glenn Germain. Thank you to our admin team. We do have an iRacing community event on Saturday the 29th, this upcoming Saturday at Alton Park in the BMW M2 with fixed setup. So 90 minutes of Alton in the M2. So that should be fantastic fun. But anyways, like I said, once again, thank you to our admin team. Matt Powell, I am still available for the Silverstone 12-hour. You know, hit me up. But that's all from me. I'm not sure if you've got anything else to say, Sean.
No, I think that's it. So big thank you also to the magnificent people that makes this happen, all our viewers. It's been a lot of fun bringing you all the action this evening. We will be back, of course, for a new season, but keep an eye out on the OOR socials as well for all events coming up. We've got the ACC Silverstone 12-hour coming up on the 5th of September. So enduro time. I haven't got a drive for that. I'm trying to get it. I might try. You want to drive, Gubby? Bugger it. Let's drive. Done it. There we go. That's how it's done. So that's going to be a lot of fun. GT4s as well, which is going to be very exciting. I am hearing a couple of drivers thinking of one-manning it, so that will be very interesting indeed. But other than that, big thank you to everyone. Hope you all stay safe out there. Look after yourselves. Maxi, thank you once again to Glenn for bringing us all the pictures, and say hi to your mum for me. And as always, you've been watching OOR.